Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Behind the Screen podcast. Tonight, you guys, I have something very special for you. Tonight is Monday. You know, we usually go up on Thursdays, but I had someone hit me up and say they wanted to come up and do a live Q&A. So let's go ahead and bring him into the stream. Tonight, you guys, we got Alex Thomas from YouTube, also known as Marty McFly on Instagram. Go ahead and introduce yourself for everybody who does not know who you are.
Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Alex Thomas here with my boy 4K Corner, aka 4KD Ray on Instagram. I messaged him because I checked out his channel. Actually, I checked out your channel a while ago. I've been subscribed to your channel for a while, checking out your 4K reviews and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, he does live Q&As and live streams with other YouTubers. Like, I would love to talk to him and chat about physical media, 4K reviews and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was glad to have you, message me. It's been a while since I've had the Q&A because everybody has been so focused on those battles.
Yeah,
when you came up and said they want to do the Q&A, I was like, cool, because it's a little bit more of a relaxed atmosphere for me. I don't have to sit here and keep monitoring the chat, counting up votes, reading the questions. So, it gives the opportunity to sit back, let you do a little talking here and there and things like that. So thank you for wanting to come up here and, give me an extra night, give me some more content and, a new guest coming up. So I definitely appreciate you reaching out to me.
Yo, what's going on, Ken? We got Ken from Middle of Media in the chat. What's going on? What's going on, Bears2248? What's going on? What's going on, Stanley James? What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Definitely appreciate Mid-Level Media. Always a big supporter of the channel. I know he was also promoting this for tonight, so I want to thank him for that. Like you said, we got Stanley James is in the house. He is always first in all my videos, first to comment, first to watch the video, all of that. Got Video J81 says, I'm in the building.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, you guys?
We got Wendell Oddly says, what's up? Who else do we got? Anybody else? I don't want to miss anybody before we get this show started. Yes, Mid-Level Media says 4K D-Rate on a Monday night. Let's do this. Yes, sir. Definitely not trying to cut into anybody else's night and time, but, we got to get it in when we can, May not be an every Monday thing, but,
right.
Here we are. But nonetheless, man, so I see a rather big collection right there behind you. I see a mixture of Blu-rays, 4Ks. I see some pop figures, whole lot, posters on the wall, a lot going on with the setup. So my first question to you is more on the YouTube side. So, just wondering, how long have you been a content creator?
Well, I started my YouTube channel around 2014. What the crazy thing about it was when I first started doing YouTube, I started doing gameplay videos. I uploaded video games first before I started getting into reviews and Blu-ray videos at first. So if you've been subscribed to my channel for a long time, I used to upload gameplay. And I had a couple years doing it. I had some drawbacks and I had some success on certain videos, but then I didn't want to get stuck in that niche when it comes to making gameplay. And it's also hard to do gameplay. It's really hard because you got to really be entertaining, you got to be consistent, and you got to try to buy the newest game, and you got to have the highest quality when it comes to those games. And I was basically just using my PS4 to upload the gameplay and play.
Oh, your audio popped out. Okay.
Am I good?
Yep, good to go.
Yeah, my bad. My stepdaughter's trying to call me. I knew somebody was gonna do that. But yeah. So I used to upload gameplay, and then I really started to get into buying Blu-rays really heavy around that time. And I forgot who I watched that was actually doing Blu-ray content. I think it had to be the Flick Pick. And I watched Chris Stuckman did like a Blu-ray collection video, and it really got me into doing Blu-ray content, like showing my Blu-ray collection, Blu-ray updates, and stuff like that. And that's when it all took off. And then like I still consistently uploaded gameplay, but then it just got too difficult to keep up on it, especially when it comes to buying games. Games are obviously expensive. They're $60 a pop, so I really didn't want to spend that much money on games that I didn't really want to enjoy playing it. Then it's like I like playing games, but when it comes to doing that as a channel, it gets very frustrating. You really do not enjoy playing video games after uploading it as gameplay. You really don't. But I kind of laid off that stuff, and then I just started sticking to doing reviews and Blu-ray update videos. And that's what I've been doing for the past couple years.
Yeah, sounds like our backgrounds are very similar, man. Because I've been on my channel for going on almost 6 years now. I started off in the same position. I think I started streaming Battlefield 3 or 4, I believe, is what I started with. So I started with the games too, and then I started to realize, man, hold on, if I do this, like you said, I got to keep up with the newest game, whether or not I
Mm-hmm.
really want to purchase it. I got to, because that's what's going to get your views.
Yeah.
The personality had to be there. The stream quality had to be there, and
Mm-hmm.
with gamers, it's so much going on their screen. So like, I didn't know all that, the technical side of it just yet, with
Yeah.
streaming on Twitch and all that. So mine was
Mm-hmm.
very, my screen was pretty empty. You used to seeing all this stuff on the screen with those guys over there.
Yeah.
So I started to think, I'm like, okay, well, what else can I do to incorporate? So I also, at the time, every weekend, me and he's in the chat, video J81, we went to see every MMA fight, that was going on. So I said, you know what? Let me start talking about that while I'm playing the game. That way I can keep talking, have something interesting. But then
Mm-hmm.
over time, I was like, okay, it's going to become too much. Like, I'm not really that much in the game, and to buy a bunch of games over and over, or new
Right.
games I don't really want to play. So I was like, let me figure out something else. And I was like, oh, I love collecting movies. That's what I've been doing. So let me do that. Let me do that. So yeah, it
Yeah.
sounds like our backgrounds into YouTube are very similar.
Mm-hmm. And then it's I noticed I started getting more views doing that when it came to doing like collection videos or like Blu-ray hauls or like Blu-ray updates. And I'm like, oh, and then I really started to enjoy it. Like when you start to enjoy something, that's how you know you need to just keep doing it. And it just became a niche for me. And then, like you said, I've always been into collecting movies at that. Like I had a huge DVD collection at a point in time. I had a whole bunch of VHS tapes, and then obviously it started with Blu-rays and 4Ks, and it's just obviously it's still growing.
So let me ask you, what type, which is there any certain type of video you enjoy doing the most?
It's probably is my Blu-ray updates, like my Blu-ray updates. 'Cause I love like I said, I love showing off my collection. I love hearing what other people have also in their collection, like comparing to see, oh, I got that, I want that, blah blah. But that's probably my favorite video to do, and it's quick, it's easy to do, like because I'm basically just showing off what I bought within the last couple of weeks, or what's new releases came out. So it's like I say, it's very easy to film, it's very easy to edit, just quick edits and stuff like that, and it's quick and go, boom. Now reviews are different. Like I do occasional reviews. Reviews are
Uh huh.
different because you really got to actually, get your points drawn across about
Right.
the film, and add the bells and whistles to it. Like I want to add clips to it and stuff like that. It goes more into that. But my favorite probably is doing the Blu-ray updates videos.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Um, with the reviews, I've kind of stayed away from reviews. I know people have asked me, "Hey, are you ever going to do reviews or anything like that?" I stay away from it because I don't want to be someone's selling point. Don't let me encourage you to buy a
Yeah,
movie. It's up to
yeah,
you whether you really want to buy it.
yeah. I
And
agree.
then for me, I definitely got to see the movie more than once, because I'm not going to watch a movie the first time and sit there and be trying to write down notes and stuff so I can do
Yeah,
the review, because now it's taking me away from the movie and I really want to enjoy it. So, for multiple reasons, I've kind of stayed away from it.
yeah.
Um,
It's funny when I do a review, I kind of like do it like straight. Like when I see a movie, I try to get my thoughts out right when I see it, because especially when it came, like obviously there's the Snyder cut. Like right when I saw the Snyder cut, I literally sat there for the whole 4 hours. I didn't like watch it in cuts. I
yep.
watched it straight through, and I got to get my thoughts out right now because I got so much going on in my brain. I have to talk about this movie and talk about what I just saw and how Warner Brothers effed up. That's the one thing I wanted to say when I started my video. Like I had to play the clip from Menace to Society when Bill Duke is talking to Kane's character, like,
Yeah.
you done fucked up. You know that. Like, I had to play that clip
Yeah.
because all I kept thinking about, like, y'all messed up. Like y'all just made us not have an experience we could experience in the theater, and y'all just took it away from us. Like, but yeah, so I see how you can say that though, how you want to get away from the reviews, because it's all people like to take your word for it sometimes, and then
Yeah.
when it doesn't work out, they want to blame you. You know, you don't want to be putting the blame and encouraging somebody, and then they don't like certain things. But to me, I always tell everybody, film is subjective. You don't like what you want to like.
Yep.
I'm just giving you my opinion and my thoughts on it. You can take it in how you want to, but all film is subjective. You're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. I'm just giving you my thoughts and why I
Right.
like it. Or if I didn't like it. So that's how I think about it.
Okay. So it looks like unwrap them movies. He has the first question of the night. He says, "What got you into collecting movies?"
What got me into collecting movies? I'm sure that was probably one of your questions anyway, too. So he kind of beat you to the punch. But I would say what really got me into it is I was really little when I used to go over my family's house and see them have a whole bunch of movies when it came to VHSs, DVDs. I've always wanted to have a large movie collection, regardless. And one had to be during high school. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, so we get really bad snowstorms.
Right.
And I one time I shoveled snow. I probably made about $100 in a day because I was like literally all day shoveling people's driveways. And I found this place I talk about in my video. It's called The Exchange, and they have DVDs for $2.50. But if you get 4, you get 1 free. So just imagine how many DVDs I bought within
Right.
that day, and it just grew from there. But I've always wanted to own DVDs and Blu-rays. At the time, it was mostly DVDs. Since I was a little kid, because I hated, like, my mom used to go to like Blockbuster when it's Blockbuster, or like Hollywood Video or Family Video. We had Family Videos here in Ohio, but or like the library, and we would only have them for a couple of days, and I would get pissed because they're not mine. Like, I would get mad. Like, I want to own these. I don't want to give them back. Why we got to give them back? You tell my mom, like, why we got to give them back? Like, man, what the heck? But that's the one thing I always wanted to own it physically in my hands, so I can always watch it anytime I want. I didn't want to have the way where it's like it's taken away from me when it comes to watching movies.
Yep. So, like you said, that did tie into my next question, which you talked about going to buy all those movies at once, and my question was going to be, what movie jump started your desire to become a collector?
What movie jump started me? I got to go all the way back. I got to go to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Was a big one for me. I was only like 7 years old when the movie came out, so that really hit me. If
Wow.
you guys didn't know, I'm 28 years old. If you didn't know, I know. I'm a young buck still out here, but that movie changed my life. The Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings. I obviously
That's a
Star
good one.
Wars. Star Wars is a big one for a lot of people. It was for me. And it wasn't New Hope. My mom showed me the original trilogy when I was really young. That movie changed my life. Terminator 2 was another one I saw at a young age that changed my life when it came to filmmaking and movies. That movie kind of got me really into looking at behind the scenes, because I was just so flabbergasted how the T-1000 looked and how they made that,
Yes.
how they did it. So those are a couple movies, and obviously, my name is Marty McFly on Instagram for a reason. And Back to the Future trilogy was one of the big ones. I swear to God, my grandma's friend showed me that movie, and at the time, you had tapes where you record things off of them. I know everyone who was,
Right. Yep.
my mom bought me those for Christmas. That was the first movie I thought about. I need to record on videotape so I can watch it over and over again. And I still remember the first time I only saw the first one, and I remember my mom telling me, Back to the Future Part 2 is on right now. And I looked up, I said, there's a Part 2? And I remember rushing down to the living room, and I remember I missed the opening scene. I was already on the part where Marty was in the diner with old Biff.
Uh-huh.
And I was just so like amazed, like, this is a sequel to Back to the Future? Like, what's going on there in the future? Like, I was just amazed by that trilogy. It changed my life as a film buff. It really did.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So, like I said, I see a ton of movies back there behind you. Do you know how many movies you have total? Do you keep count, or are you on
Yeah, yeah,
Letterbox?
yeah. I'm on Letterbox, but I haven't documented my entire collection on Letterbox yet. But I do have an app on the iPhone. There's an app that you can basically dock all your movies. It's programmed by Blurays.com too. So if you have an iPhone,
Okay.
just search my movies on the iPhone and the app should pull up. But basically, it just allows me to log all my Blu-rays in. And yes, I do know my number because I have too many. There's been many times I done went to the store and bought to rebuy a movie I don't really want to buy. I said I own 2 copies of the Shawshank Redemption because I forgot I already owned it.
Yeah.
I rebought it and I didn't mean to do it. So I got to keep track of how many movies I have because I have too many. Like I have too many. But my number is I'm at 1,270. Well, now 78 now because I just bought Wonder Woman. So I'm at 1,278 Blu-rays. And that's added with 4Ks too. Now DVDs, I don't have my DVDs added with my Blu-rays because I don't like the way the app looks when it makes all the stuff together. So I didn't dock my DVDs. So DVDs, I probably have about 100, 110 or something like that. I still have some DVDs because obviously there's some movies that don't have Blu-ray releases. So I have to keep some of my DVDs.
Okay. So one more question and then we'll get into some of the chat. I know the chat's probably got the same questions loaded that I have, but I'll let them answer because it's for me it's more about the chat and everybody getting to know the guests.
For sure.
But my question is steelbook, slipcover, or doesn't even matter to you?
It really doesn't matter. Well, excuse me. Like we were talking off camera. So I bought Wonder Woman, and I saw the steelbook. I like the way the steelbook look, but I don't think I could spend $38 on a movie that overall I didn't really like. So I just ended up going with the slipcover. I almost bought the Blu-ray. I almost not bought the 4K, but I have all the other DCU movies on 4K as well. So I had to buy it to complete it. But for me, it really does not matter because obviously you can see I got a lot of different movies. I got steelbooks, slipcovers, I got digibooks. It really doesn't matter. I done double dipped on a lot of movies when it comes to steelbook, digibook, and the slip. So it really does not matter to me. Let's get into the chat though. I see everybody saying what's up.
Is your stuff organized like alphabetically or?
Oh yeah.
Anything like that?
So my collection is sorted out. I got my steelbook separate. I got 4K separate just because those are easier to get to. If I want to watch those, I don't want to sort through all my movies to get the 4Ks. And then I got DC separated, Marvel, and Disney separated. Just so it'd be easy for me to get those movies. I almost mixed in Marvel with Disney, but I end up not doing that. I end up putting all the Marvel movies, including like Spider-Man and I even bought the older ones like the Hulk movie from Ang Lee. I own that. Right. I got Daredevil with Ben Affleck. I put all those movies together and I just put Disney separate.
Okay. It's kind of how I had mine set up till recently. I started trying to alphabetize it. Didn't do a good job. I just left it all together, all the A's together, all the B's together. I won't about to break it down by letters.
You have your I know you got your 4K separate.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And you got your steelbook separate too, or you put all them together. Yeah.
I put the steelbook separate.
It's easier for me to do that. I can't see myself putting it all together. I see people do that, but I can't put like 4Ks mixed in with Blu-rays. I just can't do that. It kind of irks me when I see people do that. Like there's other guy that I follow on YouTube. His name is Cinephiles Studios or something. I think that's his name. But he put his DVDs and his Blu-rays next to each other. Like he put everything look weird together.
The cases are different sizes. So
So and then I was watching Ken's video. He went to Half Price Books because they got a sale going on. So the Half Price Books by me, they do that. They put the DVDs and Blu-rays next to each other. And every time I go there, it irks me. It it grinds my gears because I don't want to see that. I want to look for Blu-rays by Blu-rays. I don't look at DVDs and Blu-rays next to each other. I don't want to do that. And so that's why I think I like going to the Exchange because the Exchange does that. They separate their DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff. So, yeah.
All right. Well, let's move into the chat. They're asking a lot of questions. Tony Movie Chappie says, thoughts on Monkey Bone, very underrated 2000s movie.
Monkey Bone?
Yeah, I can't think of what that one is. I don't believe I've seen it.
I don't think I've seen that either. I never heard of that one. I might have to look that up.
Yeah, me as well. Kay says, what's your most prized item in your collection?
My most prized item. That's an excellent question. It's got to be. I'm gonna throw steelbooks in there because it got to be steelbooks. I had the steelbook, the steelbook collection for the Harry Potter franchise. I absolutely love this thing. I wanted to get it when it first came out, but then it was sold out at Best Buy, so I had to find it on eBay. But that, and then I got the 4-film Batman steelbook collection.
Okay.
I absolutely love this thing. But the crazy thing, I love talking about the price of it because I found it. I don't know if you can see it, but I found it for about $25.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a real good price on that.
And I love telling the story about it because when I bought it at the exchange, if you guys know, I love going to the exchange. I always talk about it because I actually love that place. I found most of my DVDs and Blu-rays there. But I remember going there and the guy told me that the guy that sold it back to them thought it was the Ben Affleck movies. I mean, not Ben Affleck, the Christian Bale movies. He thought it was the Dark Knight trilogy when he bought it. I'm like, it's 4 movies in there, guy. How do you think they were the Dark Knight trilogy? Like, how did you think that? So he sold it back to them. And I'm
Wow.
like, that's stupid. I wouldn't do that. It's Batman still. Like, what's the difference between what the actors in it? So they sold it. I remember seeing it and I'm like, it's $25. I gotta get this. I
Yeah, you
can't
gotta
pass
get
up
it.
because if I don't see it now, I'm be pissed that it's not gonna be there anymore. So yeah.
Yeah, that was a great price to come across. You definitely had to pick that. Whether
Yeah.
you know, even if I probably even had it or something already, I'd have probably bought it again just because it's $25. I'm sure I could have came up with something to do with it, gave it away on the channel or something.
Yeah.
All right, Martinez Joe 74 says, "What genre don't you collect the most and least favorite genre?"
It's got to be westerns. Westerns are my least favorite genre. Like I have some westerns. Like I just bought The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. I have Unforgiven. I got The Magnificent Seven, but that's probably the less I have when it comes to the genres.
Yeah, Western. I mean, there's not a whole lot of westerns I can really think of. You know, certain ones just come to mind when you think about westerns that you know you probably own or tell somebody is worth
Yeah.
watching. You know, that's one of those genres that you know most people really don't think about unless you're a big time western fan.
Mm-hmm. And I know there's some good ones though. Like I have 310
Yeah,
to Yuma. I have that one. I know that one. That's really good with Russell Crowe and Ben Affleck. I keep thinking about Ben Affleck because he plays Batman as well as Christian Bale.
yeah.
Christian Bale and Russell Crowe. But like I said, I got most of the known ones. I don't have any like obscure ones that most people don't know.
All right, Tony Movie Chappie with another question. He says, "What was the first movie that you saw that made you who you are today as a movie lover?"
We just talked about it.
Yeah,
It's Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I remember the first time I saw that movie, it changed everything for me. It really did. Especially when it comes to I read the book first, and then knowing I still remember being in like elementary school, seeing the posters for those movies. Like when I was at lunch, seeing the poster for Harry Potter and be like, they're actually making movies of this book that I just read. And I knew the phenomenon that Harry Potter was already big because you know it was an overseas thing, blah blah. But that and then Back to the Future. Back to the Future is a huge. It changed my life. It really did. I thought Marty McFly was one of the coolest characters ever. Like for real.
well, quick fun fact: I think I've only seen one Harry Potter movie.
Really? Do you own
Yeah,
them in your collection?
nope. Well,
I
I've only got was the prequels, the
The
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Those ones, nah. You actually got the worst ones.
You're right, because I
You
fell
got the
asleep on
worst
it.
ones. You got the worst ones in your collection. Like I
Yeah.
said, I double dipped on those. I got it. Like I said, I bought the steel books, and I still have them on Blu-ray. Almost kept my DVDs because I love the franchise that much. I almost did. I almost kept them, but I'm like, nah, I need to get rid of them.
All right. Unwrap Them Movies has the next question. He says, "What's the most expensive movie you bought in your collection?"
The most expensive, you're probably looking at it's probably the Friday the 13th the collection, the Screen Factory collection. That's probably the most expensive one that I bought as one complete set. But I don't know like one single purchase wise. Like I said, most of my movies are used. Like I said, the most I probably spend on a Blu-ray when it comes to unless it's new releases. New releases don't count, but when it comes to just me going out to buy Blu-rays, the most I probably spend is like $10. Like they like the place that I go to called the Exchange. They have a own section of $5 Blu-rays. Like all the Blu-rays are
Wow.
$5. So I can go in there and buy 5 Blu-rays and only end up spending like $28, you know. So like I try to go cheap because, you know, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
I made a video
Yep.
on my channel, like, you know, when it comes to, I made 5 tips to buy Blu-rays. I'm like, you can buy used. The discs are going to be fine. You know, most Blu-ray discs are not saying they're prone to scratches, but you take care of them, they're going to be good, you know, regardless. They're going to last really long, you know, so.
Yeah. I wish I still had some used stores to. I got a bookstore up the street from me, but I think I haven't been there, but I believe it's nothing but books. I need to pop in there one day just to see, just in case.
Where are you from?
I'm in North Carolina.
North Carolina. And it's funny.
Yeah. So
I was thinking about moving to North Carolina. That's one of my
yeah.
destinations to move to. But the one thing I know is there's not a lot of places to buy movies. So that's the one thing I'm
Yeah.
gonna miss. Like I know there's
Especially
not a ton of used places.
yeah. I think there's probably more in certain regions of North Carolina, but where I'm at, only thing I have right now is FYE, and maybe I'd have to just venture out to different pawn shops to
Yeah.
see if anything's in there.
Yeah. The pawn shops here, no, they don't. I don't think, because we have places like the Exchange and Half Price Books where people will go there because they know that they can sell that stuff there. There's not a lot of pawn shops in Ohio, or at least where I'm at in Cleveland, don't sell deep Blu-rays or movies.
Right.
Like I said, they might, even like the Goodwill, like they only sell DVDs. I've never found a Blu-ray in the Goodwill where I live at.
Jeez. Wow.
And same with like the Dollar Tree runs. I made a Blu-ray hunting video, and I'm like, I don't know where you guys live at, but I can't find no Blu-rays at Dollar Tree. I don't know where y'all live at, but I can't find not a single thing. I bought 3 Blu-rays from there, and that were known titles. I bought The Road Warrior, War Dog, and I found this movie called Distorted with John Cusack. And I don't even know what that movie's about. I only bought it because John Cusack was in it.
Right.
So I don't know where you guys are finding these Blu-rays at, because I don't have none in none of the Dollar Trees I've been in. I've been to like 5 different Dollar Trees in my area, and I can't find a single Blu-ray to save my life.
Yeah, I typically don't find any when I finally go in there and look. It's usually still just DVDs as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mid-Level Media says, Alex, do you collect any of the boutique Blu-ray labels like Screen Factory, Arrow, or Criterion?
I have certain items in my collection, but the only one I don't have is Arrow. I don't have any Arrow titles, but I do have Criterion, and I do have some Screen Factory releases. But I don't buy the titles I've never seen. The only way I'm buying it if I've seen the movie, because I'm not about to spend $30 on a Blu-ray that I've never seen just because I like the cover. Most of the Screen Factory movies I own, I have seen them. Like I have the Valentine Screen Factory, I have Urban Legend, 13 Ghost, Pet Cemetery 2, which Candyman. Like, but most of those movies are known titles. Like I've seen most of those horror films. And when it comes to Criterion, I've only bought them because they were on sale for the 50% off sale. Like that's the only time I go to like Barnes and Noble and stuff and buy Criterions, when they're on sale. And it's got to be titles that I've read up on and I know they have good reviews. I don't just buy everything when it comes to those boutique labels. Even like Kino, like I see seeing a lot of people buying the deals. They had deals on Kino and Warner Archive and stuff. I'm just not about to buy titles that just to have it. I'm just not about to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if it's a sale, I think they had a sale like 4 for 44 on Warner Archive's website or something like that. And they don't have any titles that interest me. I bought one title from Warner Archive, and that was Selena. Like I bought Selena on Blu-ray because that was the only time. I think that was the only time it came out. I think.
Right.
Like I need to own it, so that's the only reason why. That's the only reason why I bought it from them. But when it comes to both boutique labels, it's like I'm gonna just buy what I know that I like. Not about to buy, anything that just because the cover looked nice.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. For me, it's still got to be a great price, and shipping is something else that just bothers me. Like I don't like to pay for shipping, so if that brings the price up to more than what I feel like paying, I'm not gonna purchase it.
Yeah, it's crazy because I think I watched one of your podcasts and you guys were talking about the Friday 13th collection. And I've watched all those discs. I watched all the discs. I did. because just while you said I'm about to watch them to see what's different about them. If I watch them because the first 4 has 4K transfers. They have 4K
Yep.
transfers. The transfers look pretty good. I recommend them if you like I said, I don't think now is the right time, around Halloween or close to that time. Check them out. They're really good scans. But I had to watch it because I was reading up that some of the discs are messed up.
Mm-hmm.
So I did watch them, and the discs are messed up. The ones that I got. So I end up putting in because they put out this thing for replacement disc for that set, and I did get them. And you're not paying for them. You just need to show that you purchased the set.
Yep.
You're not paying for shipping or anything. So they're gonna ship you the disc. I would still buy it. I would recommend buying it because, I mean, once they go out of print, people gonna sell them on eBay for about $800. So, I mean, if you're into the Friday 13th, and if you're into Screen Factor, I would buy it, and it's on sale right now. I think it's like 109 for it, which I am upset because I bought it brand new for 129.
Yep.
I didn't buy it on Screen Factor because I didn't care about the posters. I mean, I had no room to put the posters, so I didn't do all that. I just bought it on Amazon because I just wanted the movies, and I didn't want to spend $160 because I heard that's how much it was for like everything.
Yeah,
like,
it was. And see, when I purchased mine, when I first seen it, I didn't think of buying it. And then I believe it was Chris Morrow, me and him was talking about it, and he was like, yeah, I ordered mine. I got caught up in the whole YouTube thing, and I was like, let me get it. It's gonna be great content. And I didn't know it was releasing on Amazon as well, and it won't gonna come with the posters, so it should be a little cheaper. I didn't know all that. I just hurried up and ordered it because I knew it was limited quantity.
Yeah, so you ordered on Screen Factory's website, basically, right?
Yeah, never even my posters are still in the tube. I've never opened them.
You might sell them. You probably get some good prices for. I would sell those because you probably can get good prices for those. You might be able to get almost half your money back because those posters. So most people want them posters. You'll be surprised. You know, there's some people that bought this set and they couldn't get it from Screen Factory, but they bought it from Amazon. Yeah. Most people probably wanted those posters, so I would sell them if it was me. Because, like I said, I got posters still sitting rolled up, and I ain't got nowhere to put them. Now I'm sitting there with posters, and I'm like, I ain't got no frames or nothing yet. But that, like I said, going back to the question, that's most expensive. But I don't regret buying it though. I don't regret buying it because I am a fan of the franchise. It's one of my favorite horror franchises, and it's just getting all the movies in one set is not saying I'm president because we got the 10 set, but in the way it was made, I appreciate it. Because at first I had this first. Don't fall. I had this first. So I had this. I have this. This only got 8 movies in it. It only got part 1 all the way till Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I didn't have Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah.
Jason X. And you can find Freddy vs. Jason and the remake separately. You can find those. Those are easy to find. So I had those. So I was just missing Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell. Like those are 2 I was missing. And I'm like, okay, they come with those, and Jason Goes to Hell come with the unrated version. I gotta buy it because you can't find that by itself. You gotta buy that on DVD because even the 10 set didn't come with the unrated version. So that was one selling points for me is because it's actually the full set. It is actually the full set.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get back into it.
Yeah, let's get back into the chat. Chris Morrow has a question saying, do you have a favorite director?
Spielberg. It's Spielberg hands down. It's a toss up between Spielberg and James Cameron, but you got to give it to Spielberg. He's done every genre. I mean, the only thing he hasn't done is horror. But if you want to count Jaws as horror, he did do every genre. I mean, and I just watched Ready Player One. I didn't just watch it. I rewatched Ready Player One. I've seen it obviously, but I rewatched that film and it's such a Spielberg film to me every time I watch it. I absolutely love it. It gets too much hate, in my opinion. People hate on that film, but I love that movie. I love every aspect of that film.
I thought it was a fun film. It had a lot of classic throwbacks in it. You know, a lot of stuff for you to look at and catch. So I enjoyed it.
That's what people said was negative about it. That's when people said like, "Oh, it's just all the nostalgic." I'm like, but that's the book.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
the book is the same way.
Takes you back to your childhood if you grew up back then.
Man, when he pulled out that DeLorean, I said, man, I want that car too. If I was in that world, that would be the car I would want too, for sure.
Tony Movie Chappie looks like it's a question for me. Since I can tell that you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, what's your favorite out of 3 recent Dragon Ball movies? Battle of Gods, Resurrection F, or Dragon Ball Super Broly? I'm definitely gonna say Super Broly. I enjoyed that. That was spectacular.
Not a huge anime guy. Like I've seen Dragon Ball Z. Trust me, I've seen Dragon Ball Z, but I'm
Uh-huh.
not a huge anime guy. I wish I was. I feel bad. I'm actually jealous of you guys because you guys are into all that stuff. That's something I couldn't get into. Like I'm into a lot of stuff, but anime was just not one of them, and I'm very upset about that. I really am.
Yeah, for me, I'm more into the older stuff. I know there's a lot of new stuff out that people are watching that gets a lot of praise and gets talked about a lot, but I haven't seen it. But the old stuff I really enjoy more.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-level media, I definitely bought the same movie more than once. I need to keep better track.
Yeah,
4K.
yeah. I double dip on a lot of stuff, and I almost messed up and bought the Friday 13th Part 2 steelbook again. I almost bought it, and I got the set. I almost bought that steelbook. I almost did.
What is going on, 4K Media Guy? Thanks for tuning in. You guys make sure you hit the like button as you come in, as you're watching, or as you leave the stream. If you got to leave early, just make sure you hit the like button, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe also to Alex's Thomas channel if you're not subscribed already. Another mid-level media saying, what's up, 4K? What's up, guys? Everybody shouting out 4K Media Guy for coming on in. 4K Media Guy says VHS over 4K. Haha, just kidding.
I say, come on, your name is 4K Media Guy. Don't do
Right.
that. Don't do that, 4K Media Guy. Don't do that.
Mid-level media says, I'm facing the same issue. I love that Wonder Woman 88 steelbook, but I really don't like the movie. I think I'm going for that Mortal Kombat double steel tomorrow instead. See, I forgot about that one coming out.
I forgot that was coming out. I might have to get that. I don't own
I'm
the
really,
Mortal Kombat. I don't own those.
Yeah, me neither. And I'm surprised they didn't just go ahead and do a 4K of it,
Yeah,
at least the first one.
Exactly. Could be the movie because the new one's coming out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be so. Maybe they might do it later. They might do it later. They might wait for the new one to come out.
The new one
and
to come out.
Release that one for it to come out. It's not no anniversary or anything like that though. Usually they do that for anniversaries when it comes to releasing 4Ks. It's a Warner Brother title, right? Warner Brothers does that when it comes to the anniversary. So we just have to wait and see. But I didn't know that Steelbook was coming out. I might have to get that. Well, see, I have to see what the price is. If it's a little bit pricey, I don't know.
Right.
I agree. I don't like spending money when it comes to titles like that.
Yeah, because I'm more keen to watching part 1 than 2. 2 was
yeah. Annihilation was not good. No.
4K Media Guy says, I'm fine with slip cover. Plus, I feel Wonder Woman 84 will get more steelbooks later down the road.
Yeah, we've gotten like 4 or 5 steelbooks for Wonder Woman #1. So yeah, I agree. I have one of the steelbooks for Wonder Woman, the comic book drawn one. I have that one, but I found that for like $4, so I couldn't pass it up. I found it for cheap, so that's why I bought it. But they released another one with a slipcover where I guess you take it off and it's her shield and she's standing next to the shield, but it's in 4K too. So I think I agree. I'm gonna wait for another one because it might be better.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Video J81 says, what's the largest movie genre that you two own?
Science fiction, fantasy, probably, because I mean, you want to count Harry Potter, Star Wars. I count all that in the same genre of science fiction, fantasy. I don't separate those. I put them all in the same category. So it probably is that. Maybe action, if you want to count that as a genre, action, adventure. That's probably the most. If you want to put all of it in one category, because you can put Star Wars and Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings as action and adventure. So it'd probably be action and adventure. Probably be my most category.
For me, since I trimmed down the Blu-rays and strictly 4K, you guys already know 4K is mostly action that gets released. So for me, it's action. But of course, I love like thrillers, especially like crime thrillers. That's probably one of my favorite genres overall.
How many movies do you own in your collection? Like overall, like counting 4K and Blu-rays?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't keep track. I just added Letterbox app on my phone. I haven't even done anything with it. I got some Blu-rays and some DVDs still in my living room, and then I think a box right here I got in this closet has some old the Disney VHSs, so I'd have to piece it all together and count it up. But I'm
Okay.
sure it's probably not that much.
Right.
Let's go back into one of my questions and then we'll jump right back into the chat. Uh so with everybody seeing that Best Buy and all these stores, the media sections are slimming down big time. Some stores have nothing in them at all, from what I'm hearing, seeing pictures of. What's your thoughts on the future of physical media?
I already know where it's going. It's dying. It really is. Regardless of physical, I mean, 4K still being the new media because it's still new. Like if you looked at how many discs are made for 4K, it's a really low number than Blu-ray. There's a lot more Blu-rays, and there's still movies that haven't even came out the Blu-ray. So, but my thoughts on the future of it's dying. I think it's gonna become like vinyl. Like vinyl is still up, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
showcased like like how physical media is or like how Blu-ray and stuff is. But that's where it's going down to. Like we're like at the point we're gonna be very niche. People are gonna walk into our houses and be like, "Why do you guys own all these?"
Yep.
Like there's HBO Max and Disney Plus and stuff. Why do you guys still have physical copies of this stuff? But I'm gonna be physical media guy regardless. I'm gonna always buy physical. I'm gonna always go to these stores, regardless if there's one shelf. I'm gonna still go in there because I recently went into Best Buy and I seen that they only had one row and they had the two end caps of usually the new release rack, and it kind of upset me a little bit because I guess I'm one of those person that like to go in there and just browse. Even if I don't buy
Right.
anything, I like browsing through it to see what new releases came out, what came out the weeks prior. And even that stuff is very low, obviously because of COVID and there's not that much coming out. But like obviously, I think now it's like a time for these studios to release more physical media because we're at home, regardless
Yeah.
of it being on streaming services. But there's a lot of rights issues when it comes to releasing on streaming services. So just release a disc. I know people will buy it, especially if it's a big title. Like trust me, when Lord of the Rings was announced for 4K, I ran for that, even though I missed out on it. But I bought it when I was able to get it. And I already owned 3 copies of it already, but I had to get it in 4K. Like I
Right.
had to buy it. I had to.
Yeah, I agree. Tomorrow, me going to get Wonder Woman 84, it's going to be the first time in quite some time that I'm going to go inside of Best Buy tomorrow. I haven't been inside my Best Buy in a couple months. All my pickups have been curbside. I have not gone inside. I can't remember the last one I picked up in the store.
Wow.
So, I'm gonna be. I don't think it's trimmed down because looking. I always filter out when I'm looking on Best Buy to see what's available for pickup in store. So it still looks like a lot of stuff is in store. So I don't expect like the aisle to be gone like some of the other people go. So hopefully I
Yeah.
won't be too shocked. I know the
You just
past few times that
I would say be prepared because when I
yeah,
went to my Best Buy, like they only had the one row. Like obviously it's double sided, but there was only one row. That was it. And I was like, this is insane because I remember it being 2 rows. I remember it was
yeah,
being
yeah,
a
that's what I got,
two
2 rows.
rows. And I went there like a couple weeks ago and it was only one. I'm like, yeah, this is what's happening. Same with like going into Target. I hate going to Target
Oh
because
yeah,
it's only one
Target's
row now.
horrible.
It's only one row, and all they got is Disney, Marvel,
Yep,
Star
that
Wars.
is
That's
it.
all they got, and new releases. That's it. It's
Yep.
nothing. No, like you might get the occasional steelbook, which was crazy because I went into Target and they got some of the Best Buy steelbooks. They got
Yeah, yeah.
Jaws. They got the Back to the Future trilogy. Almost bought that too. Almost bought it again because they had it there. Like because I'd never seen it in person. I only seen it in videos and photos. I almost picked up the Back to the Future trilogy on Steelbook, and I already own them on 4K. But I love that franchise. I'm like, I might double dip on those. If they're still there, the next time I go, I might end up picking up Back to the Future on the Steelbooks. I might get those.
All right. So you just said something about double dipping that leads me into my next question. Um, what influences your decision to double dip?
It's got to be a franchise that I love. Like I have to absolutely love it. Like I have obviously multiple copies of the MCU. Like I have 4K Blu-ray. I even bought steelbooks for most of those movies too. Like when I have videos on my channel too with me just showing I bought all three, and I told people like I was gonna buy them, like for both Endgame and Infinity War. I was gonna buy 3 copies of that movie. I was going to do it. I bought the steel book, bought the slipcover, and I bought the digibook from Target. I was gonna buy all those exclusives. I knew it, and just because I love those movies, I did the same thing with Black Panther. When Black Panther came out, I said I'm double dipping on this. I knew it.
Hmm.
Like I'm buying this twice because I love those films. But it has to be something I absolutely love, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Back to the Future. Like I'm a double dip, and I'm gonna buy every iteration of what comes out because I love these franchises. Like I said, the only thing I probably can't double dip on is like the Terminator franchise because they haven't released multiple copies of those movies.
Right.
And I'm still waiting on 4Ks for number 1. I want another one for number 2
Facts.
because the 4K one is trash.
Yeah.
That one is trash.
It is.
I'm glad I bought it for $5. I didn't pay that much for it, and I feel bad I even paid $5 for it because it's not even worth $5. It's just nice to have. It's just nice to have it on the shelf. It's just nice to see it. Like you ever just
Yeah.
look at it and be like it looks nice.
Yeah.
Like the case looks nice, but
You're
the
like,
disc.
man, I got Terminator 2 on 4K, but I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah, I might watch the Blu-ray. I might as well watch the Blu-ray. Man,
Yeah.
I think James Cameron was behind helping out with
Yeah.
that too. That what makes me more mad is that he actually supported that disc. But yeah, when it comes to double dipping, yeah, I
So
double
what
dip.
so what about upgrading? If you upgrade one of your Blu-rays to 4K, do you still plan on keeping that Blu-ray? Do you think about, okay, I can either sell it or just, get rid of it?
But before I used to keep them. Now I'm actually going through my collection now. I'm actually starting to go through certain movies that I have. Like I got rid of. I made a video talking about selling some of my movies that I upgraded. Like I got rid of the Matrix trilogy because I upgraded those to 4K, so I had those. I got rid of like Jaws because I upgraded that. E.T. I got rid of E.T. because I upgraded that to 4K, so I didn't need the Blu-ray because it comes with a Blu-ray. But like I said, it got to be a movie that I absolutely love. If I want to keep the Blu-ray, I'll keep it. But if not, I'll get rid of it. Like I thought about technically like going through my collection to figure out what I have, what I want to get rid of. But I have a thing where it's like it's hard for me to get rid of stuff, especially when it
Right.
comes to things I love. I love movies. I love Blu-rays. I love owning these I love seeing them. There's many times I done sat here and just looked at them just because I love looking at them. And it's hard for me to know, like, I paid money for these. I can't see myself getting rid of them and knowing I'm not even going to get what I know I want to get for these.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're
Yeah.
going to give
You
me
try to sell them now, you're only getting like $1.
yeah, like, I took them to the place that I go to called The Exchange. I ended up getting more money than I thought I was going to get. Like, I thought I was going to get like $12 in store credit and like $5. I ended up getting like $40 in store credit. I'm like, okay, that's cool. No, it basically put more money into buying stuff that I don't own. And I
Right.
ended up doing that. But it's still hard for me to get rid of movies. It took me a long time to get rid of my DVDs. Like it took me a long time. My best friend used to convince me, bro, you need to get rid of them. Why do you still have them? Like because I can't get rid of them. I just can't. I just
Attachment.
can't. Yeah, and then I think of it like I love movies. I love movies. I love physical media, and the DVDs was what it was like. It was a hobby. It was a coping mechanism for what I was going through as well. That's another thing I forgot to bring up too. There was a point in time I was like extremely depressed going throughout after high school, and buying movies helped me with that. Buying movies and buying physical media was like a drug to me. It helped me get through a lot in my life, and that's probably why I have a lot of movies back here, because I was buying them out of stress and depression, you know.
Okay. All right. So Tony Movie Chappie has a question. He says, Alex, what are your thoughts on Neil Blomkamp's 3 films, District 9, Elysium, and Chappie? Very interesting to hear your opinion.
I love District 9. District 9 is a masterpiece. I need to own that on 4K. I need to upgrade that. I would definitely upgrade that on 4K because I know it would look amazing. Elysium, it had potential. Matt Damon is amazing in the film, but it lost me throughout the middle of the film. I got lost throughout that entire film. And Chappie, I fell asleep on that. So I can't even give you my full opinion. I fell asleep on Chappie. And I bought the steelbook for that because it was cheap. I think I found that for like $5 as well. So I own it. I own all 3 of those movies. But I just wish Neil Blomkamp would get out of this sci-fi element in this thing and do something else. I know he has a lot of potential to do other genres, but he got stuck doing this sci-fi futuristic stuff. You know, he got stuck doing it. He was gonna do an alien film, and that's kind of the same thing. You know, he got stuck doing that. You know,
but all three just seem to.
We haven't seen nothing from him either. You know.
Yeah, it's all like it just created one universe. Everything just looks the same. Looks like it's all just part of the same story.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. Mid-Level Media says thoughts on Batman and Robin cinematic masterpiece.
Now you're being funny, Mid-Level Media. That's what you're doing. You're being funny because you don't want me to go off. Because I would definitely go off. Trust me. And I remember watching that when I was really little. Thinking, what the freak was I watching?
Mid-Level Media says No Country for Old Men is a great Western.
Now, is that count as a Western though?
It is. It's neo-Western, so more modern.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a big issue in the last battle that, they weren't counting it as a Western.
I didn't know. I love that film. I didn't know it was actually counted as a Western.
Yeah, and see, me and my brother-in-law, Video J81, he's in the chat. We had a discussion about it afterwards, and we were talking about it. I think it's just that so many people are focused when they hear Western, they're thinking 6-shooters, horseback riding, big ranches, and some of that just wasn't there. So it was more modernized. So people don't really put it in that category.
Wow, I didn't know that. Well, I learn something new every day. I learn something new every day. I didn't know that. Wow.
Wendell Otley says, I'm in North Carolina too and have plenty of pawn shops and thrift shops around that have Blu-rays, but it is slowly dying down. I wonder what part of North Carolina he's in. I think I'm just getting that information that he's in the area. I know Blu-ray King is like an hour away from me. Martinez Joe says, I don't separate formats except for 3D Blu-ray because it's easier to find titles since over 10K titles in the collection. Good gracious.
Wow. Boy. When I hear people got that many movies, I don't know how you can fit all that because
me neither.
I have a bad trying to fit it in this little corner right here.
Yeah, that would drive me crazy because I'd feel congested, overwhelmed. Like I'm the less is more person.
How do you know what to watch? Because I have a problem figuring out what to watch.
How do you watch it?
Yeah, it's not. I know there's no way you can watch as many movies that we own, but it's not even about how do you watch it. It's just how do you find something to watch? You got so many, like 10,000.
Tony Movie Chappie says, what place to get movies do you miss the most? Movie Stop or Blockbusters?
I don't think I had a Movie Stop in Cleveland, but I had to pick Blockbuster because I don't think we had a Movie Stop. We had Hollywood Video and Blockbuster. And then obviously we had the Best Buys and that stuff. But the only thing I really miss about going into Blockbuster is just being there, not even buying anything, just going in there and looking at the covers. I was one of those kids that used to go in there and look at the covers of the tapes or the DVDs. And I remember it wasn't Blockbuster, but I remember going into Family Dollar and seeing the Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone DVD for the first time. And I begged my grandma to buy it for me. I literally begged her to buy it for me. You have to buy me this DVD. You have to buy it for me. And I told her, I said, I got an A on my test last week. And she said, get it. And I would never forget that day because that's one of the first DVDs I technically owned, like for myself. And oh man, but I do miss Blockbuster though. Blockbuster was my spot.
Yeah, me too. For a very long time, I did have a Movie Stop by me. And I think there was another video store. But the Movie Stop, I always went there to get the old wrestling DVDs. That's where I went for that. But Blockbuster, it was next level because you had long aisles. You had that big old wall. Mm-hmm. Then you had, if something that wasn't in, you would have cars pulling up, dropping stuff off. And you're wondering like, hey, can you check and see if they drop this off? So it was something about Blockbuster.
I miss the smell of it. I will never forget the smell of Blockbuster. That's the one thing I will never forget.
One thing about I never bought like the popcorn and candy and stuff out of there but then they came up with like some package, I think, where like you got the membership and you would get like some popcorn and stuff like that. But that stuff was super expensive in there. That was more than going to the theater.
Yeah, they had to make the money some way.
Yeah. Bill Tyrell says, "Have you guys ever seen the movie Hardcore Henry? I wish it was a better movie because the first person concept was cool."
No, I didn't see it because I don't like first person shooters, so I knew I wouldn't like the
Wow.
movie. I'm not a first person shooter guy when it comes to video games. It's weird because I like seeing the character that I'm playing. I don't like just seeing the
Okay.
gun, especially when it's not me. Like I know it's not me playing, so why do I just see the gun? I want to see the character that I'm playing with. I don't want to see just gun. But I heard the movie was fun, but I don't see myself watching that. Wasn't my cup of tea.
So are you gaming now? What games you play right now?
I'm currently playing. I went back and played Batman Arkham Knight. I went back and played
Okay,
that
yep.
game.
Great
Because
franchise.
I wanted to play as Batman, and I'm like, I want to play Batman. I want to play as Batman. I know the Arkham game is the best way you can play him. So I went back and played that. I played Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Mhm.
It was really good. And then on Xbox, I'm playing 2K21. That's what I'm playing on there.
Okay.
That's all I'm playing right now. It's not really that much out right now. I mean, even with the
It's
new
not.
systems, even with the new systems, and I don't have any of the new systems because there's nothing for them out.
There's nothing.
And obviously you can't find them. You can't find no PS5, Xbox Series X anyway. So
Yeah.
And I'm not going on eBay to spend $800 for them. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, not worth it.
Mm-mm.
Mr. Dingo says, favorite low budget indie movie.
Favorite low budget indie movie. That's an excellent question. I can't even think about that on the top of my head. Indie. Oh man. I'm trying to think of one. Oh
Yeah,
man.
I can't really think of much either.
I can't think of one on top of my head. I'm looking at my collection to see, like, I know I got some indies in here. I know I got some indies in here, but like, would people count that as an indie? That's the thing. I guess I will say Saw, because Saw is technically an indie.
Yeah, it is.
Like Saw is technically an indie. Like that's the first thing I think about when it comes to low budget horror film. But then you could say, Nightmare on Elm Street was an indie when it first came out. I mean, it was very low budget. They didn't have a lot of money to make it. But I don't know. I would say Saw, I guess. I guess I'll say Saw. I can't think of anything on top of my head. I'm trying to look at my collection to see, but I can't.
Yeah, that's usually how I am when people ask questions. I gotta start looking back, like,
yeah,
let
like
me see.
I don't know.
All right, so Mid-Level Media says, I think physical media will make a comeback once people get over paying $150 a month for 20 different streaming services that aren't guaranteed to have the movies they love.
I can agree, but to disagree to as well is because, like, for me, like, so I got Disney Plus, but I paid for the full year. Like, I paid for the full year, so technically they're not taking money out of my account each month. So I paid it out, so I have to worry about them taking the payment each month, because what if I needed that extra $6 and they just took it from me? So I end up paying for that full out. And the only streaming service I technically pay for is Hulu and Amazon Prime. So technically, because Disney Plus is already paid for. So, and then obviously the internet. So that's the thing too. You got to add internet in the streaming service. So if you want to be right, we're technically paying more than cable. But I tell people the difference between cable is that you have to watch what they want you to watch on cable.
Right.
You can choose what you want to watch on Netflix, Amazon, Disney, all that stuff. You can choose to watch anything you want, on there. So that's the one thing I tell people that's different from actually having cable and these streaming services. But I agree, though. If it wasn't up to me, I probably wouldn't have any of these streaming services if it wasn't for the new content that we're getting, like WandaVision and Mandalorian. Because I don't have Blu-ray releases for those, so I have to watch them on Disney Plus. And I wish they would release physical media copies of those.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have HBO Max if all these new movies wasn't dropping on it. I wouldn't be paying for it every month. I think that's the only one. Well, let's see, Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. All of those are packaged through my Verizon. So
okay, so
Amazon Prime's paid for.
You got those for free though, basically. You got
Hulu, pretty much.
Yeah, okay, because you got the year service basically.
Yeah, I use someone else's Netflix account. I've got Amazon that's paid for the year. So
yeah, somebody hooked me up with their HBO Max account. Shout out to my best friend, because he knew I wanted to watch Justice League, and he like, man, I'm gonna just hook you up with my account. I think I hooked him up with some stuff. He's like, I'm gonna hook you up with my HBO Max account. I'm like, oh, you the goat. You the goat. Because they actually
I
got some.
wish I need.
They actually got some stuff on there, man. I was
Yeah,
surprised when I
they do.
looked into
But
that, man.
and
I'm
that's
like,
the thing, you gotta search it though. Like it's really
yeah,
not. Oh, there's some good stuff that's gonna show up on your main screens when you're scrolling across each genre and stuff. But the more I started using my Roku to search for movies I wanted to watch and seeing that it was on HBO Max, I was like, wow, they do got a lot of content.
yeah. I don't like the way they're formatted when it comes
Yeah.
to looking at it. Because when you scroll over, it stops you what you're scrolling. So you basically got to go to another section to search for the other movies.
Yep. And
Like,
that the to me the user interface is a lot slower than say Netflix. Once like you gotta wait a
mhm,
second once you hit that button to scroll over and stuff. It's kind of
yeah.
slow. Chris Morrow says the guy at Best Buy last week told me they are getting rid of the media section to stock workout equipment. Yep, probably Peloton. Yep,
Yeah,
that's what
I
I've been
saw that.
hearing too.
I see you when you go in there, you're gonna see that because that's the first thing I see when I'm walking down the aisle and I'm going towards my physical media section. It's all treadmills and the Peloton stuff. That's all I see,
Yeah,
and it's
Target's
upsetting
actually
because yeah, go ahead.
Target's actually doing the same thing. Target stores. I know they already kind of push the Apple stuff on you, but
Yeah.
now they're gonna have like little small dedicated like Apple stores inside the Target entertainment area.
Oh, like actually Apple departments, not just have
Yep.
like the cases they're gonna. Oh, I didn't know
Right.
that. I
Yep.
didn't know that.
So
Wow.
that's where things are going now.
To me, it's just it was bound to happen because if you look at the sales, I mean, the sales are really down when it comes to physical media
Yeah.
because we have all these people who have all these streaming services. You know, people like things fast. They don't want to. I wouldn't say lazy, but because I mean, it's a lot of effort to take a discount, put it into a player. It's easier just to click the remote and it's there, there to go, on the go.
Yeah. And
Um,
everybody's not into it. Like, I love the picture quality. Some people just really love the audio quality. Like my wife, she'll
mhm.
sit down and watch stuff with me and she'll be like, I don't know the difference.
Yeah,
So
and my my
I
my my
notice
girl
it.
my girl's the same way, but I actually tricked her one time where she thought we was watching something on streaming, and I was watching on 4K, and I'm like, no, this is the disc, and she like, oh wow, I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the
And
difference.
to her on 4K, some of the stuff looks less realistic. Like I think it was Civil War we was watching one time, the airport scene, and she was like, "Oh, it looks a little more animated
Yeah,
on the
it looks
4K than it does." Like,
the CGI looks more like
yeah.
CGI. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I can see that. I see how most people see that.
All right, Tony Movie Chappie says, "Have you guys ever watched Mystery Science Theater? Personally, one of my favorite TV shows. Yes, I definitely remember that. I believe it
No,
used to
I
come on
never.
USA, I think."
I think I'm too young for that.
Mid-level media says streaming is good for the original content, but even that is very hit or miss, especially on Netflix. Yeah, Netflix is full of
I, I
B-grade movies.
I can tell you right now, I've not watched a single Netflix movie. My girl will watch a Netflix movie all day. She will watch all that content, but I just know I'm not. I'm not. I know I'm not gonna like it. I just know it. Like I just can't see myself sitting there watching a movie on Hulu, even on Hulu, even the Hulu movies. My girl was watching this movie on Hulu. It just it was not interesting. It was not at all. And I'm like, man, that's why they put them on these streaming services because they can't release them in theaters. But I
Yeah,
agree. Like the streaming service is cool, but you scroll through a lot of crap.
yeah, yep. Vinny Conrad says you can't get the made for Netflix movies on physical media. Yeah, that is one of the downsides, but I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really cared for too many of those movies to where I'm like, I need to own it. So
But there's some instances sometimes, like I said, I always pull this out, like this is on Netflix, but they released it,
oh
The
yeah,
Last
yeah.
Dance. And trust me, I watch it on Netflix all the time, but if I want to watch it at home, I'm popping in my Blu-ray, man. I'm popping in the Blu-ray because it just looks so good. It does.
Actually, probably my daughter's watched it at least about 5 times
Yeah,
herself. I probably need to just go ahead and buy that for her.
you can find it now. I think I've seen it at like Target and Best Buy, so it's not hard to find at all for that Blu-ray set. I think it's like $50 for it.
Martinez Joe says, even with the original content, I can't do digital. With the size of my collection and with what I buy, I have enough to watch in my lifetime.
I agree. I
Yeah,
agree. Like if I wanted to watch a movie for a day, like for a movie a day, I can probably go with 3 or 4 years with watching a movie and not watching anything repeated. You know, That's how many movies I own.
All right, we got someone new to the channel, Sir Bronzeville. Do you buy movies you don't like just to have it in the collection? I see some of these YouTubers buying anything just to collect. Oh, that is
Yeah,
a really good
that's
one. I
a
might keep
yeah.
that on the screen for a second.
Yeah. So most of the movies in my collection I have seen. Most of the movies in my collection I've seen. Obviously, I buy the occasional release. If I heard good things about it, I will buy it. Like I didn't see Queen and Slim, but I heard good things about it, so I bought it. Like I bought if I hear good reviews, if I hear the occasional, like it's not like half and half. If it's a majority of good reviews and I haven't seen it, I'll buy it. But most of the movies that I have in my collection, I have seen. There might be the occasional like Batman and Robin. Obviously, I do not like that film, but I'm a completionist. I need to own most of
Yeah.
the DC movies, even if I don't like them. I don't like Ang Lee's Hulk. We talked about this earlier. I do not like that film, but I'm a
But own
completionist.
it.
I want to own some of these Marvel movies. You know, I want to own most of these movies. I used to be subscribed to Horror Pack. If you don't know what that is, it's basically
I've
like the
heard it.
subscription. Yeah, it's a subscription when you get horror movies, some obscure horror movie. Then you might get the occasional known horror film. So I used to be subscribed to them, and they used to send me a whole bunch of titles for like some stuff that I probably would never watch, and it's gonna sit in my collection because I know I'm not gonna get no money for them. And I'm trying to figure out which one I can show you. Something like this, like. Look at it. It's called Deadly Dolly or something like that. It's a Horror Pack exclusive. I probably would never watch this movie. I probably would never gonna watch this movie, but it came in a Horror Pack, so it's gonna sit here. Like it's gonna sit in my collection, but I'm probably never gonna watch it. So I have movies in my collection that I know I got because it either came with a subscription or do you know what Disney Movie Club is?
Yes.
Yeah, so what happened? I got a whole story about that. So Disney Movie Club send you titles. If you don't respond to them, they send it to you. They gonna send it to you anyway. And they don't have your credit card tied to it because they're gonna charge you. If you don't respond to the feature title, they're gonna send it to you
Wow.
because they expect that okay, you didn't respond, so you must want it.
Want it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there have been many of Disney titles I really didn't want, and they sent it to me because I didn't respond. I mean, I think I got like I love Peter Pan, but they sent me Peter Pan and Return to Neverland, and I didn't want Return to Neverland. I'll take the first one, but I didn't want that. But they sent it to me anyway. I said, "Oh, F it, it's in my collection. F it." They resend. I had two copies of Finding Dory and Finding Nemo
Wow.
because I didn't respond to those being the feature titles. So I got two copies of those, and I didn't want two copies. I
What's
love
the
those
price
movies.
on them when they do it? Is it more MSRP or is it a real good price?
When you're a member, you get a discounted price, but not with new releases. New releases, you gotta pay the full price for them. So on the website, I think it's $29.99 for a brand new release when it's 4K. I think it's $25.99 for regular release. But sometimes they'll do a deal where you get two movies. So I did. I bought Home Alone on there, Home Alone on 4K, which looks good in 4K. I would recommend it. So it came with that and Home Alone 2. I technically got Home Alone 2 for free basically because it was like half off or something like that. So both of the movies came up to like $40 or something like that. So I basically got Home Alone 2 for like $10. You know, usually if you buy it on there, it's probably like $15 to $20 for Home Alone 2 on Disney Movie Club. So I technically got it for half off for getting both. If I would have just got Home Alone by itself, I probably would have to pay full price for Home Alone 2. But since I got them together, it was jotted down. But you got to be careful with some of these subscriptions, man, because they'll get you. I got to keep reminding myself I have Disney Movie Club because I might forget that I didn't respond to a title, and they're gonna send it to me like Soul. Soul was the recent title that needed to be responded to. I had to decline it because I already bought it. I didn't want another copy of Soul. I didn't want another copy of that, so I had to like decline it. But yeah, I have some movies in there in my collection that I probably do not like, but I've seen it. I remember loving it as a kid,
Right.
and that's the reason why I own it. You know, I try not to buy movies that I do not like because I was watching Levels of Geeks channel. He was talking about this too.
Yeah. Yep.
He was saying like, why do you have movies in your collection if you don't even know what the movie's about? Like, why do that? You know, I mean, at least read up on it or watch it. Like, don't just have to sit there. And of course, it's going to be impossible to watch all these movies, but at least you show that you've seen it. Like that's the reason why I buy it, because I remember watching it as a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I usually do. And then like on these shows, when somebody says something, I'll pull up the trailer and watch it. If it looks, interesting, I'll give it a shot or something like that. But
Yeah.
typically I'm not a blind buyer. I can't
Mhm.
look at go
Yeah,
out to
like
Best Buy, go through the racks
yeah.
and look at a cover and be like, oh, I guess I'll get this.
Yeah,
Nah.
there's been many times I want to do it, but then I'm not about to sit here and waste $15 on a movie that I might not even watch. That I forget I had. It's still in plastic. Like there have been many movies I done bought. Like I go think of one on top of my head. I have the Pet Sematary remake on Blu-ray. It's still in the plastic, and I never opened it. I bought it Black Friday, like 2 Black Fridays ago, and I still haven't opened it. But I know I'm gonna watch it eventually. It's Halloween's coming up, so I gotta watch some
Yeah.
horror. So most likely I'll watch it. But like it's still sitting in plastic, and I kind of regret it because I like Pet Cemetery, but it's just sitting in plastic.
All right. So Mr. Dingo says, are you a Cleveland Cavaliers fan?
Unfortunately, yes. Even though we're not good, I still watch. I don't have time to watch games because I work, so I watch the highlights. But
Right.
I guess I could say I'm a Cavs fan, but not really. I mean, basketball is not interesting that much now, and I
It's
can say
not.
that as a basketball fan, it's not interesting. Everyone is going to the Nets for some reason. Like it's becoming like the KD instance when he went to the Warriors. It
Yeah.
feels like that. It feels like everyone just wants to play together, and it's like no, that's not competitive. I want to see these stars stay with
Yeah.
their teams. Like,
Yeah.
and I know James Harden had a hard time in Houston, but it's like, bro, you're under contract, bro. Like,
Yeah.
oh
When it's the players that's just like, oh, I don't want to be here, and then next thing you know,
man,
they're going to a super team. It's kind of like not interested.
now you ring chasing. You ring chasing.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You just want to get a championship because you don't have one. That's man.
LOV says, can you give a birthday shout out to my girlfriend Braxton? Well, happy birthday, Braxton.
Happy birthday, Braxton. Happy birthday.
Daikatana says, best indie horror was Frailty. Yeah.
Royalty.
Mid-level media says Frailty is a fantastic and super underrated film. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton.
I gotta check it out, man.
And Tony Movie Chappie says favorite found footage movie. I might go Blair Witch. Cloverfield was great, but I think
Chronicle.
I just watched that again the other day too.
Chronicle. Does that have a 4K release? I don't think that has a
No,
4K release. It needs one. That needs a 4K release. I would rebuy that. I love that movie.
I do too.
I love that movie. It's
I
so
think
rewatchable.
I think that was part of what I was saying. I was just Googling, I was searching on Roku, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen Chronicle in a while. And I put it on there. I think it was on HBO Max. That's
Yeah,
how I
it's on
watched it.
HBO Max. Yeah, that's an amazing film. I love that one. I remember seeing that in theaters and blown away because I didn't know what I was getting when I first saw it. I'm like, okay, it's kids that get superpowers and they're doing it in found footage way. And I was dumbfounded when I first saw that film. I loved it. That's probably my favorite found footage movie. It is. I love Project X. You ever seen
Yeah.
Project X? I
Yep.
love that movie too. That movie's hilarious. That's a great party found footage movie.
Wendell Otley says his wife complains that 4K looks too clear. Wow.
Too clear? I can see that. Because most
Yeah.
people like the movie feel when it comes to movies. They don't like feeling like it's like a soap opera.
Right. Yeah. Like
But
you can just reach out and touch them.
yeah, but you could turn. I think certain TVs you could turn that feature off.
Yeah.
Like if you don't want that realism, you can turn certain stuff off. You still get that movie feel.
Now with my TV, yeah, I can turn it off. But even with it off, I don't know what it is about Hulu, but it still has that motion interpolation that I don't like, and it can get a little choppy at times and look
Yeah,
robotic.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's only Hulu that does it too.
They try to make it configure it with your TV though. That's probably because you got a 4K TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's trying to format the content for your TV, so it doesn't feel like it's downgrading. It's trying to update itself.
Vinny Conrad said Irishman is a Netflix movie. Tony Movie Chappie. The only great movies on Netflix are Extraction and The Babysitter for me. I watched Extraction. I wasn't that much into it.
I thought it was okay. I thought it got a little bit too
Yeah.
much. It got overhyped, in my opinion. Not saying it was bad. I just think it got a little overhyped.
This next one, I think we talked about this a little bit backstage. Contender says some YouTubers get free movies from studios.
Yeah, I think I am about to start emailing some studios because I do enough Blu-ray content. Like I show enough newer releases that I buy. I don't do a lot of reviews on them, but I show that I do support the studios when it comes to buying releases. I try to buy most of the new releases.
Yeah, and I said that because I told you, you can just reach out to him, email him, because I know the reason I said that is my best friend. He's a big sneaker YouTuber, and that's how he gets all his sponsorships. He just reaches out to him. I think some of them have reached out to him, but I know a few he just reached out to him on his own.
Yeah.
Mid-level media says the Dolly Deadly movie that you pulled out is super underrated horror gem that you should watch.
Oh, maybe I should watch it.
Maybe not. He said, just kidding, don't.
Oh, come on, Ken. Don't do that. I was about to actually watch it too. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. It don't look good, so I figured it's not good.
Martinez Joe said he constantly sells titles that he don't like to make room for new titles. Only titles I really like, I have the slip edition and have a sealed steelbook next to it.
That's cool. Well, how do you feel about people actually putting plastic covers over their steelbooks?
So, my personal opinion, I mean, people can spend money however they want, but to me, I don't see a point in it. If you're not over there always pulling those movies on and off the shelf to where they'll get scratched up, I don't see much of a point unless you live near the beach where you're getting that salt water in the air, and it can ruin that case. But other than that, I see no point in spending the extra money on that. But to each their own.
Yeah, I don't. The only way I touch my steelbook if I only own it in steelbook. If I'm watching Avengers Infinity War, I'm not taking out the steelbook. I'm most likely using the cases that I got, like the slip or digibook. I'm not touching the steelbooks. I rarely touch them unless it's the only version I own of that movie.
Yeah, because I know people go like, I'm not a big steelbook person. I try to spend the least amount of money as possible. If I love the artwork, yes, I'll get the steelbook. But I know it's people like, I don't understand why these people continuously pre-order the steelbooks and stuff, and then they constantly complain, "Oh, my steelbook had a dent in it or it had spine slash." Well, stop pre-ordering it then.
Yeah, like
hit them where it hurts.
I stopped pre-ordering unless I really wanted. Like I could have pre-ordered the Wonder Woman steelbook. It's still available for pre-orders. I got a feeling that steelbook is gonna sit there. I don't think it's gonna sell out. But I for examples like the It Chapter 1 and 2 steelbooks, I knew those was gonna be gone. I knew it, especially for the 4K editions, because you could rebuy it. The steelbook, that the same version I got at like Walmart or Target, but it's just the Blu-ray version. Same with the Joker steelbook. The Joker, they re-released that steelbook, but it's in Blu-ray, and that's why he always gets the steelbooks again over again. But it's not 4K. So like, I knew the It Chapter 2 steelbook was going to be gone. I knew that steelbook was going to sell out, and I knew they weren't going to release it, and they have not re-released that steelbook. And I'm so happy I own it because I knew that steelbook was going to go.
So Mid-Level Media says the VHS movies are super underrated found footage films and Creep from 2014.
I haven't seen. I've only seen one VHS movie. I had VHS Viral, and that's terrible. And I haven't seen Creep.
Tony Movie Chappie says, "What's a movie you think deserves a sequel?" He says Chronicle and Chappie.
Chronicle definitely deserves a sequel because we know he's still alive, and they were gonna do a sequel, but it wasn't gonna be with the same characters. It was basically gonna be the same movie over again. They was gonna basically remake the first movie with 3 new kids getting powers. That's basically what they was gonna do. But I mean, it kind of books in where it doesn't need a sequel because it's just him by himself now with these powers. Both the characters. Spoiler alert! If you have not seen Chronicle. Both of the kids die. Both of them die. Michael B. Jordan characters die, and Dane DeHaan's character, they die. So they really don't need a sequel. I didn't see Chappie all the way, so I can't go on that.
I would say for me, one of them I could think of more current. I don't know how you felt about the movie Brightburn, but I loved it. I thought it was
Uh,
really good. I would love to see another one.
did you see the end, like the credits where he's basically going around killing a lot of people, basically? Like, so he's out in this world killing everybody, basically. I love that film actually. I don't think it's good, but I enjoyed it though.
Right.
I just thought the characters were stupid in it, like because like okay, like y'all, this kid is obviously doing all this stuff, and the mom is just so fucking oblivious to everything.
Right.
Like, come on, Elizabeth Banks, you're smarter than
Like,
that.
no, it's my son. I love him. He
Yeah,
can't be a bad guy.
like, come on, son. But I thought it was pretty fun though. The kills in there was pretty good. The
Yeah.
kills are pretty good. It's a nice spin on a dark Superman.
Yeah. I agree. Sir Bronzeville says, any movies that you find at 4K slightly hurts. Example, in Fifth Element, you can clearly see that the singer and Blue, you can tell that they're in suits due to how clear the movie truly is.
I haven't seen The Fifth Element on 4K. I don't own that film, but I have seen the movie, but I haven't seen it on 4K. I can't think of movies off the top of my head that kind of hurts it. I guess we go back to Terminator 2, I guess. Because you probably can try to make it look modernized, because that's the problem with Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Terminator 2, they try to make it look like it was made today. And even without it being digitally upgraded, it still looked like it was made today. I mean, obviously there are certain scenes where it do look dated, but when it comes to the special effects, the special effects still hold up today. They look great. So they don't really need to make it look digital. That's what the problem. They wanted to make it look like it was made in digital instead of made in film. That's the only thing I can think about. I can't think of any other 4Ks that hurts it. I can't think about like.
Now I know when I first started venturing into 4K, I think Mad Max Fury Road was one of the first ones I really loved and watched over and over. But the one thing that every time I watched it, I was like, the explosions and fire in 4K, it just looks so fake to me. I was like, oh, I can't get over it. Like that was the one complaint that I had when I first started 4Ks.
I need to get that on 4K. I heard it looks amazing in 4K.
It does. Dykentana says Howard the Duck needs a sequel.
Now you're being funny. You're talking about the one that came out in the 90s. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It does not need a sequel. I would like to see a new Howard the Duck with the animated one that's in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah. I do remember that. Oh, now he's really being funny. Also, Brokeback Mountain needs a sequel.
Oh, come on. Now you trolling.
Mid-Level Media says you watched the wrong VHS, Alex. Viral is horrible.
That's the one they sent me in the horror pack.
He said watch 1 and 2.
Yeah, I heard those were the best ones. I know. They sent me in the horror pack.
Dykentana says Chronicle copied the Power Rangers. I didn't really feel that way. I never thought about that when I watched it. I never got that notion.
No, I didn't. They had telekinesis powers. That's what they had. They have telekinesis basically.
Yeah.
I don't see that how they copied the Power Rangers. I mean, I'm guessing no, because Power Rangers came out after.
Way after.
Yeah. It came out after Chronicle. So no, that's wrong. Because Chronicle came out 2012 and Power Rangers came out 2017. So that's wrong.
Yeah. To me, I think they was going for more of a realistic. They used the superhero element of gaining powers from somewhere else, but they wanted to make it look more realistic and humanized.
Mm-hmm.
Like if me and you was to get some powers tomorrow, what are the crazy things we would be doing? And that's what they did in the movie.
I would
going to like that supermarket scene.
Yeah,
like the crazy supermarket scene. Like I would
definitely do that. I would be making shit move and taking it out of the store.
Yeah.
That's what I'll be doing. Like, all right, I'll be grabbing the 65-inch TV. Like this going into my car.
Like messing with the little girl with the teddy bear, making it look alive and chasing her. That was funny. That's something that, somebody that age would have did with those powers. So
for sure.
It was pretty cool to me.
Yeah.
We got Rev 4K in the building. Thanks for joining us, Rev 4K. Yes, you came in a little late, but late is better than never. So thank you for catching it.
You can always watch on the replay.
Yep. He says on the 4K transfer of Friday the 13th Part 3, you can see the strings on all the 3D effects, and it looks so bad.
Yeah, it doesn't look good. Like I said, it looks better than it has looked before, but it's messed up because you can basically see the props. You really can. But I mean, you can't fault them on that because those movies were very low
Very good.
budgeted. I
Yeah.
mean, if you watch, I tell everybody, I'm gonna show it here. Hope I don't want to make a mess though. If you're a huge Friday 13th fan, you should definitely watch this documentary. Watch this documentary, you guys. If you guys are fans of the Friday 13th franchise, I highly recommend the Crystal Lake Memory because they go in depth with that franchise and how they went through making all the movies, how low budgeted it was, how many problems they had making those movies. I would highly recommend it. And Nightmare on Elm Street got the same thing. It's called Never Sleep Again, the Nightmare on Elm Street Legacy.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's really good as well.
Vinny Conrad says Gemini Man has the best 4K picture quality.
I'm upset because I couldn't put it in I did a top 5 4K Blu-rays. I didn't watch that, so I couldn't put it in my top 10 my top 5. But I probably would because I haven't watched it. But I heard it looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. I had a hard time on where to put that number 1 or 2 in mine, but I think I ended up putting it number 1. It is. I mean, I know everybody doesn't like that style with the frames per second, but it's phenomenal to me. The movie wasn't that great. Let's be honest about that. But
yeah, I heard it was like early '90s, like late '90s, like it was made in the '90s. I heard it was like, look, that's the way it was made.
Tony Movie Chappie says to you, Alex, what is a watchable bad movie?
Watchable bad movie? Oh, Space Jam. Space Jam is not good, but it's watchable. It's not a good movie. That, and I kind of think about movies like that, like Good Burger. Good Burger is not a good movie.
It's not a good movie, but it's enjoyable enough.
It's so watchable. It is, man. Like those are I consider bad watchable movies. Like I said, I could probably throw Batman and Robin in there because it's not a good movie, but it's a comedy for sure. That's a comedy. That really is. Like, watch that movie high or drunk. You will have the best time of your life. Like, for real.
Those. That contender said, now Dread needs a sequel ASAP.
The one with Carl Urban? Yes, it does. And I need to get it on 4K. I missed out on that steelbook, but I heard Slip is very hard to find, too. So I got to try to find it some way. I missed out on that
everybody went after that steelbook.
Man, I knew I should have pre-ordered it when it was available. I knew I shouldn't just went for it.
We got JC in the building. He says, do you guys like that Halloween steelbook that came out last year? It's one of my favorite steelbooks I own, honestly.
Now, you talking about 1978, if I'm guessing? The one where it shows Michael on the front and Laurie on the back of it?
Laurie on the back, yeah.
I missed out on that one too, and I'm upset. I should have got it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get it because I already owned it on 4K. I got 3 copies of it already. I don't think I need another copy of it because I have a DVD. It came in the Halloween collection. I have it on 4K. I don't think I need it again. Another copy. And trust me, I love Halloween, but I don't think I need another copy of it.
Mid-Level Media says, have either of you seen Slumber Party Massacre? Prepping a review, and it's maybe the purest slasher film I've ever seen. Take that for what you will.
Nope, I haven't seen it. It's a Screen Factory release, ain't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I have a Screen Factory release. No, I didn't get it. That's one I passed up on because I never saw it. So I didn't see myself buying a $30 title if I never seen it. That's the thing about Screen Factory. They release all these obscure horror films, which I should have watched, but I watched the big ones, the known ones, like the Friday, the Nightmares, and stuff like that. I grew up with the 90s horror, when it came to Scream, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Valentine, and Urban Legend. I grew up with those because I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s. I was young in the 90s, but I was a little young to watch these movies, but I did watch them. Like my uncle took me to go see Halloween H2O when I was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would never forgive him, but I can thank him because he made me love horror films. He really did. He introduced me to the genre. I remember watching Scream for the first time with him.
Yeah, I would say yes. I have seen Slumber Party Massacre. I grew up around that time, the 80s. That B-rated horror films were very big back then. So
a lot of them. Oh my god.
I see a lot. I follow people on Instagram that still collect the VHSs from that time. So seeing some of those movies and I kind of forget about them. I've seen Slumber Party Massacre. I always remember that one. That's one that always comes to my head. I think there's another one, Sorority. I believe it's Sorority House Massacre as well. That always pops up in my head. So yeah, I used to love that. I used to love watching Up All Night on USA. It had all that stuff on it. I used to love watching
does the Slumber Party Massacre got a steelbook? Isn't that one that got a steelbook?
I think it does. I'm not too sure.
I think I've seen it at Best Buy a couple of times, and I always pass up on it because I've never seen it before. So like, I want to spend certain how much ever the steelbook was. I didn't want to buy it.
Yeah, I used to love Elvira back in the day. I used to watch her show. I love to meet her, but I'm not going to one of these cons and having to pay like $80 just to say hello or get a picture. There's no way I'm doing that. Dyke Antenna says all Medea movies are watchable bad movies.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I think the plays are always going to be better because the way they're formatted. Like, I think the Medea Go to Jail play is probably still my favorite play from Tyler Perry's. And the movies, they just try to extend what the plays were, and they obviously add different elements to it. But some of them are pretty good. I think the ones that's not Medea are the better ones. Like the Why Not Get Married, That Little Girl, No Good Deeds. Those are the good ones, obviously, because they're their own stories. They have nothing to do with Medea.
Yep, I agree. Rev 4K says Triple X is trash, but every time it's on TV, I turn it on.
I agree. You're talking about the original with Vin Diesel. That's a very bad early 2000s wannabe Fast and the Furious era type of movie, and it's bad, but I definitely do watch it. I definitely do, and I think I was into those movies when I was little because I was into action. I had fun with Vin Diesel snowboarding down the damn mountain after he done caused the avalanche. I think that's what happened in that movie. I ain't seen it in a long time, but I did watch it a lot on TV. It came on Stars a lot.
This next comment, I swear, I need to put together a some type of montage or something and send it to Screen Factory because if this does not happen this year, I'm gonna go crazy. But JC says Nightmare on Elm Street needs a 4K release this year.
I don't think we'll most likely get a 4K release.
We better.
I know is we've all said this since they released this motherfucker. They released this. I want a Screen Factory collection. That's what I want. A 4K release will be amazing, but I really want this type of treatment for Freddy. Freddy has been the one that has been treated the worst when it comes to all these franchises. Because this, do I have it available for me? Where's the collection? Here it is. This one is trash. This is garbage. This is garbage. I only got it because it's the only way you can really get all the movies on Blu-ray. That's a trash set. I think the special features on there are not good either. That's the one thing I want because some of those movies got new commentaries and stuff, like new ones. That's what I would want. I would want new commentaries and new special features and stuff from those movies. So that's what I would want. I would want a Screen Factory collection. Like I said, 4K release, we'll most likely will get it. Because it's not an anniversary, though. What's the next anniversary for it? It came out in 84, right?
84, yep.
So we most likely won't get that until 2024.
24.
That's what. Yeah, that would be probably when the 4K comes out, if we're still getting releases. But if we're still getting physical media around that time, because that's still 3 years from now. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Years. Oh, man. I would love a 4K release for that.
Yeah, I would rather the 4K, to be honest. But if they come out with that box set, there's no way I'm not buying it. So.
Yeah, me too. I'm buying it. Hands down. I'm pre-ordering that one. I might have to pre-order that one.
Sir Bronzeville says, any Criterions in the collection?
Yeah, I have Being John Malkovich, Cat People, Dazed and Confused, Following. That's one of Christopher Nolan's first films. Pan's Labyrinth, Punch Drunk Love, Night of the Living Dead, The Princess Bride, Marriage Story, Scanners, Roma, and Videodrome. So I have some Criterions, but like I said, the only reason why I bought them because they were on sale. I did the Criterion Barnes & Noble 50% off sale. If they were, I didn't buy none of these full price. I probably wouldn't buy them if they were full price because Criterions are very expensive. They're like $40, and if you get like a big set, like the Bruce Lee collection. I wanted that. So I wanted that. They released
Yeah,
the
yep.
Bruce Lee collection, but that went like this. Like it went away like hotcakes. But that set was like $80 or something like that. It was expensive for it when it first came out, and I'm like, I did not justify buying that set for that much money because like I think I watched one of your streams and you say like I don't like spending money on stuff where it comes to like stuff like that. Like, I don't like
Yeah.
spending a lot of money when it comes to physical media. Like I try to find as cheap as possible. If it's brand new, if I buy brand new, okay, but I try to find things cheap.
Yeah, that's why I really miss living where I used to live because we had those stores like you mentioned to where I could get most of my collection that I used to have as far as Blu-rays, it was all mostly used.
Yeah.
So I miss that. Like now for some reason, I don't know what it is, but it's hard for me now to buy 4Ks that are used. I don't know if it's that just I love ripping open that shrink wrap. I don't know what it is because I don't use the digital code. I usually sell it or just give it away. So I don't know why I don't buy used 4Ks.
Yeah, it depends on what the title is. I bought some of my 4Ks used. Like I bought the Matrix trilogy used. And I actually got it for a good price. I actually found all three of those for $30.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
which you probably in stores they probably that's like 50% off basically. Because I think when I went to Best
Yeah.
Buy they were like $63. So I kind of got a good deal for them. I try to not do it, but it's sometimes like the store I go to called the Exchange. They be having good deals on their 4Ks. Like I found the Bad Boys 1 and 2 Steelbook for
Uh-huh.
$20 on 4K. Like it's the 4K Steelbook, and they only found it for about 20 to it was like $18 or something like that. I'm like I can't pass this up. I had to buy it. Um, Now, when it comes to steelbooks, if I find a steelbook used, I'm buying it. I don't
Right.
care. I don't care. I'm buying a steelbook used. They don't have to be brand new for me. Um, Especially when it's something I've been looking for. Like I remember finally finding all the Star Wars movies on steelbook, and I missed out on them when they were new, and I wanted to own them, and I'm like I gotta find all of them, and then I missed out on the Last Jedi steelbook. That's the one I missed out on, and I didn't pre-order that one. I missed out on. I ended up buying the Target Digibook, which was a
Yeah.
trash set. That thing I probably might sell that one. I might sell that. I found the steelbook for like $15 at the Exchange, and it was the 4K steelbook. It wasn't the Blu-ray steelbook, so I got a good deal on that one too. But yeah,
All right. 4K Media Guy says, how do you feel on Warner Brothers holding back on some 4K titles, examples Tom and Jerry and The Little Things?
I don't think those movies weren't 4K releases, in my opinion. I know HBO Max has the 4K streams, but if you want to watch them in 4K, watch them on there. I don't think, for me, I'm not going to justify paying extra price for those movies. That's what I'm thinking about because they're new releases. They're going to have to charge $30 for those 4Ks. I'm not going to spend $30 on the Little Things 4K or Tom and Jerry. I'm not going to do that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it. So
Yeah.
those titles would just sit on the shelf. They would just sit on the shelf. So why make them?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
agree because Tom and Jerry was absolutely horrible. I hate that forced myself to sit through all of it.
Yeah, I heard I saw the reviews and the people that I trust that I watch on YouTube said it was bad. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna sit there and watch it. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, and Little Things, I love the Little Things, but I agree. If I knew it was coming out next week, would I buy it at full price? Probably not. I'd probably
Mm-hmm.
wait. It,
Yep.
you know.
Because if it came out on 4K, most likely it'll be dropped down to 15 within a matter of like 3 weeks.
Yep. Rev 4K says, yeah, the soundtrack hit hard in middle school. I forgot which movie. I think they're talking about Triple X on that one. Slumber Party Massacre, The Driller Killer. Ha ha ha. I love that trilogy. Dyke Antenna said pawn shops is where to go for used 4Ks or Blu-rays. Vinny Conrad said Wrong Turn franchise on 4K. Maybe the first one, and I'm hearing this newest one was pretty decent, but the other ones were not that good.
I don't need that franchise on 4K.
Nah, me neither. I
I
can
won't
name a few
scream.
others. Right.
I won't scream for I want Wrong Turn.
Here's one. They say The Incredibles or Toy Story 3.
Ooh, that's an excellent question. I'm gonna have to go Toy Story 3 because Toy Story 3
Yeah.
it made me cry. It almost made me cry twice. And I've seen the movie numbers of times, and I remember 2 times where I almost cried. And I already know what's coming. I know if you guys seen Toy Story 3, you know what part I'm talking about. And every time so I work at a liquor store, and I could technically watch movies while I'm serving customers and stuff. I could do that on my phone. And I remember watching Toy Story 3 while I'm at work, and I know the part is coming, and I spill my neck, my throat choking up, knowing what's about to happen. Like, I'm thinking they're about to be disintegrated, and I know it's not about to happen. I know the claw's coming, but I still got emotionally invested in that scene, and I almost started crying while I'm working, while I'm serving customers. And I had to tell myself, I'm at work, Alex. I'm at work. I can't cry when I'm at work. I can't do that. And the Toy Story trilogy, now I'm not talking about 4 because we know there's 4, but just the Toy Story trilogy they're perfect films.
Yeah.
Toy Story 4 was good, but the Toy Story trilogy are perfect films.
I definitely agree.
They look amazing in 4K. Do you have them in 4K?
I don't. I stopped buying animated movies. I think I've got like the Hotel Transylvanias and the Lego movies, but other stuff I kind of stopped.
I would recommend those, especially the first one. The first one, it shocked me the way it looked. But in Toy Story 4, it's only different because it's a newer release. So of course, that movie's gonna look the best out of all of them. The opening shot when they're trying to save Bo Peep in the rain looks so stunning in 4K. Oh, it looks so amazing.
Now you're gonna make me go buy it.
It does. It looks fantastic. Man, I was blown away.
All right, Mr. Dingle said, "Would you rather go in the Grudge haunted house or watch the Ring tape?"
I think I'll go into the Grudge haunted house.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because once you watch the tape, I think you're fucked regardless. I don't think you survive. I don't think there's no way you get away from that. Unless you literally put yourself into a box.
Mid-Level Media says Freddy will get them all in their dreams eventually for this treatment. Video J81, long overdue for Nightmare on Elm Street. Horror is not represented well enough on 4K. I definitely agree with that one.
I don't think they're putting that much effort into it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, I think of one off the top of my head, The Shining, got probably the best treatment when it comes to horror. That movie looked fantastic in 4K. I have Hereditary in 4K, but I haven't watched it. I've seen the movie, but I haven't watched it in 4K, so I can't judge that.
Yeah, I haven't either, and I got the 4K.
Yeah, I got that too. I knew that was the only way I wanted to own it wasn't 4K. I've seen the movie, and it did creep the hell out of me, but I didn't watch the transfer yet. But I agree. 4K horror is definitely misrepresented in 4K.
Yeah, 4K Media Guy says a Chucky box set in 4K would be great. Yeah,
I'll just take the first one. I'll just take the first one in 4K. I think I watched one of your podcasts, and you said that you will just take the first one for certain movies, and like the rest is like you don't need the 4K for them. And I agree. I think because the first one's always the best one. It's very rare for. I think the only difference is I think Dream Warriors kind of overtops the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
like Dream Warriors. I remember the first time I saw Dream Warriors. I seen that one very late. I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2, and I missed 3. Somehow I always miss 3 and 4. And I remember watching 1, 2, 5, 6, and obviously Freddy Jason Nightmare. And I'm seeing 3 and 4 late. Like I missed those because I didn't have no videotape of them, and nobody knew owned them. So I remember the first time I seen those 2 back to back, and I was amazed. I'm like, these are the best ones. How did I miss these? Like I miss Dream Warriors and what's the 4th one called? Dream Master. Like, how did I miss those movies? Those are my favorite ones out of the franchise.
Yeah, those are the best. I love Dream Warriors, man. From the first time I watched it, me and my oldest sister, that we love that movie to death.
Yes. The characters, that's what makes it so great. Freddy is the best in that movie.
There's another good one. Thoughts on the Rambo franchise?
I'm not a huge fan of the Rambo franchise. I like them. I'm not a huge fan. I own all of them. I have all of them. I just bought the last one on 4K, and I still haven't watched it yet. But I like the movies. Like I said, I haven't seen Last Blood, so I can't get my thoughts on them. But the first 4, I love how brutal they are. I love how brutal the last ones go, especially Rambo 4. That movie is so brutal. Like he's like literally blowing guys' heads off, and they're like exploding. But like I said, I like him. I think I'll take Rocky over Rambo though.
Hmm. I think me personally, I'd probably take Rambo. I love Rambo franchise. The only one I don't own is 4 on 4K. It's
You got
definitely on
Blurays
my
on
list. I
4K.
keep saying I'm gonna buy it, and I never pull the trigger. I keep pulling it up on Macari, eBay, everything, but I never hit add to cart. But I keep pulling it up, saying, "Okay, I got to get it to finish my collection."
Mm-hmm.
With that is a real tough one because with Rocky, for me, I love 4 the most.
Yeah, 4 is
Uh,
definitely it's one of the cheesiest ones, but it's so watchable.
yeah,
It's nothing but montages throughout the whole thing. It's nothing but
yeah,
montages and
in the soundtrack.
Sylvester Stallone in the snow, like trying to lift logs and shit. It's absurd, but it's because of what happens to spoiler alert Creed. What happens to Apollo Creed? I mean, what really makes it for me,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it gives Rocky a purpose to fight. You know,
In part 3, and you can leave out the whole Thunder Lips part with Hulk Hogan, but I
yeah,
loved Mr. T's character in part
yeah,
3.
very over the top, but he works for
Yeah,
that franchise. I think it
yep,
was a great casting for him.
yeah. He was a good bad guy, good opponent for him. He came with it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think for that one, yeah, I think I would pick Rambo to be honest. But you definitely got to see Last Blood.
Yeah, I know. I own it. I bought it. I bought it for Black Friday. And I almost bought the other movie on 4K. I almost did it. I almost pulled the trigger because I bought The Last Blood on 4K. But I ended up just saying I just kept with my Blu-rays.
Here's an interesting one. Kay said, "What would you want more, Nightmare on Elm Street 4K collection or Tarantino 4K collection?"
Nightmare on Elm Street 4K
Yeah,
collection
I'm
over
definitely gonna say that.
Tarantino. Like I said, I'm not a huge Tarantino fan. I like his films. I'm not a huge fan of him though. I'll take not Freddy over Tarantino for sure.
Dyke Antenna said first 4K. I think, yeah, I think I said Mad Max Fury Road might have been my first one. I really can't remember off my head, but I think it might have been Mad Max.
My first two was The Magnificent Seven with Denzel and Chris Pratt, and I
Hmm.
think it was either that or Furious Seven. I think those two are my first 4K release, my 4K buys. That was my first two.
Mid Level Media said he'd take Tarantino over Freddy. Vinny Conrad, Wrong Turn franchise on 4K. No, thank you.
No, yeah, we already answered that. Nah.
Ten pawn shops is where to go for used 4Ks and Blu-rays. Yeah, but then you'd have to find that pawn shop that actually has them because I got a bunch of pawn shops in the area, but
Mm.
which one would actually has them? I don't want to just you know keep going in and out of pawn shops to finally find that one that has it. Because
Yeah,
at
that's
least
how.
with a regular store, I can browse around and look at stuff. Pawn shops, I'm not a fan of buying stuff out of pawn shops, but I would buy a movie. But I'm
That,
not gonna
that,
go in there and look
yeah,
around. I'm just gonna
yeah.
see if they got movies and then I'm out.
That's how I feel about the Dollar Trees. If I go into two Dollar Trees, I can't find none. I'm out. I'm done searching.
Let's see. The thing needs a 4K release. Yeah, I could agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I bought the Screen Factory Steelbook for that, and that Steelbook looks amazing. I love the artwork on it. But I agree, it does need a 4K. I will definitely rebuy that because I love the thing.
He says Wonder Woman 84 will sit on shelves.
I don't think it's gonna sit on shelves. But I do. I think the Steelbook would. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how many they make. That's the thing.
Yeah. If this was Disney, I would say okay, yeah, probably so because we know they will oversaturate, but
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. Grown men cry, how sweet. I'm be honest, shoot, hey, I know exactly what he means, and then I'll always say John Q was just that one movie that'd do it to you.
When I was really young, Selena was that movie for me. When I was young, it made me cry at the end of Selena because I didn't want her to die because when I was little, I didn't know it was based off a real person. I thought it was just a movie. So when she died, I'm like, oh, I wanted her to keep continuing doing what she was doing, and I found out she was a real person. It made me more sad. I'm like, oh shit, like she was she got murdered by her agent, her manager, and or whatever her that woman was, and she couldn't even have a career like how she was gonna have. Like, yeah, that movie broke my heart for sure.
And shoot, I'm gonna be honest. Forget a movie. I cried when I was in high school when Mike Tyson got his beat down by Lennox Lewis.
Well, yeah,
He ain't never seen Mike
yeah,
Tyson take a beating before.
yeah. I
I
cried when
was
Michael
upset.
Jackson. I cried when Michael Jackson died. I definitely did. I cried when Michael
I think
Jackson died.
I think I almost did when Prince died because I was always a big Prince fan. Wendell Otley says, "I'm hoping the Scream franchise gets a new full box set after Scream 5 comes out." Yeah, it's looking
Me
like
too.
it will.
Mid-level media. I'm sorry I messed up your name, Ken, but he actually made a physical media report about saying there's rumors that it might come out. I mean, I really don't know if I want a collection. I think I want slips.
Yeah,
I want slips with the artwork that from the original. That's what I want. But if they do a full set, I'm gonna buy it because
yeah.
I want this. I want the upgrades.
Dylan Moore says, "Man, don't nobody want Tom and Jerry in 4K." I agree with that,
Nope.
unless it's the cartoon.
Nah. We don't want that, buddy.
That movie was absolutely trash. AJ Reacts 2 is in the building. He said, "Yo, what's happening, fellas?
What's going
Welcome to
on,
AJ
buddy?
Reacts." Thoughts on the Transformer franchise? Oh my god, why did he ask this?
Oh man, I was gonna do a series on my YouTube channel talking about these movies because there's good things in them, but it's more
I agree.
bad than good. It's more bad than good, and it's just because they saw that they were making the money they were making, and they were giving us mediocre material. I mean, these movies made $1 billion, but two of them made $1 billion, and they were bad. I give Dark of the Moon a slight pass because if you take half of that movie out, the second half is good. Like
Spectacular.
every time I watch Dark of the Moon, I always start from when they figure out Sentinel is the key to the
Yep.
Decepticons come. I start right there. I never watch where Sam looking for a job, dealing with his girlfriend drama, all that shit. I will never watch none of that because I don't care about none of that. I want to see the Decepticons and Autobots fighting, and that whole third act is amazing. Now, The Last Night is one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It's one of the worst, but I own all of them because I'm a completionist.
Me too.
You have them on 4K?
Not all of them on 4K.
You have The
I'm
Last
missing
Night on
2 on
4K, don't
4K.
you? You
Yeah.
have why would you buy that?
Transformers fan, dude.
Oh man,
That's why I shake my head about it. They did us
yeah,
dirty.
yeah,
Childhood
for sure,
favorite.
for
I
sure,
love
for
one.
sure.
I was
One
so
is
happy about one. I walked out the
did,
theater happy. I'm still happy to this day with part one.
so. Do you think? What do you think about Bumblebee? Did you like
I
Bumblebee?
love Bumblebee.
Yeah,
I think
Bumblebee
that
is
came out
technically
really
the
good.
best one. Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that good. I love when they showed Cybertron at the beginning. I wanted
Oh,
the whole movie to kind of look like that.
yes. I love that Optimus Prime looked like Optimus Prime
Yes.
from the animated show or the movie or whatever. That blew my mind when I first saw it. And like I said, I've watched the Transformers shows and the movies, but I'm not a huge fan. But I still remember they announced the first one. I was excited because I'm like, oh, we about to see what's going to happen. I thought Michael Bay, okay, he's done the Bad Boys, so he's good with action.
Right.
But I remember that he's not good with characters. That's the first thing that popped in my head. I said, oh, snap, hold on. He's not good with characters or plot. He's not. He's good with action. Like, we knew the action was going to be spectacular, but I knew that the plot and the story was not there for none of the movies. I knew they weren't going to be good. And also, the marketing tricked us. The trailers look amazing for the movies. Those are the best thing about the Transformers movie is the marketing. All the trailers look fantastic. But those movies,
I'll be honest. One, Dark of the Moon, Bumblebee are my favorites. Extinction, I liked I thought Lockdown was cool. I definitely love seeing the Lamborghini, those shots of when they were running from his little weapon that he threw that makes you disintegrate. That shot was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Movie as a whole was just horrible.
It's too long.
Yeah.
Most of the movies are too long, but that one
Revenge
right
of the Fallen was way too long.
Yeah. Extinction felt long. They go to like 3-4 different locations for no reason. Like, you going to Chicago, then you go to China. Like,
China. Yep.
why are you going to 2 different locations? Like, oh man.
Yeah. It was a mess. I mean, I was hoping for more, and then there was like little rumors that somehow they was gonna start doing this universe with G.I. Joe, and I could see that happening from the
Yeah.
army
Yeah.
standpoint and everything. So I was kind of
Yeah.
hoping for it, but I'm like, the route that we're going, these movies are horrible. So to me,
No.
somebody else needs to helm it and try to do it.
I mean, even the
Because
G.I. Joe
Michael likes
movies, even the G.I. Joe movies weren't that good. So I mean,
no.
they just might as well just reboot both of those franchises. If they really want to do that, you might as well just do fresh reboots for both of them to set it up. But there's no really setup if they were really going to do that.
Yeah. Kay says, were you guys hoping for a Snyderverse or not?
Yes. I want them to restore the Snyderverse. I thought Zack Snyder's Justice League was fantastic. I've already watched it 5 times. I need to watch the black and white version because I heard that one looks amazing in black and white. I really want more, especially after the week cut. I want the Zack Snyder version on 4K. I want it today.
Definitely.
They got to do
it. If they don't do it, they're passing out on a lot of money.
Yeah, I might double dip on that one. I might buy 3 different copies of that movie. I might do it. I might get the slip. I might get the steelbook, and I might get a digipack. Whatever they do a digipack, I might get that. I might do it because I was just, and my expectations was very low because obviously the 2017 movie was trash. I mean, I gave it a positive review, but over time, it's trash. It really is. So they really had a very low bar. I mean, it could be no worse than that. That's the worst thing I said. It could be no worse than the Whedon cut. So I'm watching it, and man, they blew me away. I mean, Cyborg was the heart of the movie. He really was. You know, they took all the best parts off from him. He had some of the best parts.
Yep, I agree.
The Flash scene, epic. Like the spoiler if you haven't seen the Snyder cut, but the Flash scene when he's reversing time, my mouth was on the floor. So I'm like, here's the setup for the Flash movie right here.
Like, now let me ask you, did you mind the aspect ratio?
No. Action at first for the first 5 minutes, but after that, it didn't bug me. I would actually watch. Because that's what the Batman vs Superman remastered. That's what that is. It's going to be in the 4:3 ratio.
Yep.
I would watch BVS in that ratio.
Yep.
I would.
4K Media Guy says, "Are you guys excited for Obi-Wan show?"
Yes, because we're getting some characters that are from the prequels coming back, and hopefully they've improved their acting skills and they're gonna be better. Hopefully Hayden Christensen is better. Like I liked him in Revenge of the Sith, but hopefully he's better now. Hopefully he's better now than he was in the prequels. But I like that they're bringing O'Shea Jackson is gonna be in it. O'Shea Jackson Jr. is gonna be in it. They just renounced the cast list. I got to look over it again, but I love the cast. The cast looks amazing. So we'll see. They're bringing back Joe Edgerton, who played Uncle Owen in Revenge of the Sith. He's actually coming back to play that character again. So I love the continuity of it.
Says, what are you looking forward to more, MI7 or No Time to Die?
MI7.
Yeah, I would agree. After
what
we got with Fallout.
I had to put that in my top 5 when it comes to 4K releases. That movie looks amazing in 4K. Yep. I said the scene with him running. They just show us he's just running. But the way it's shot, the helicopter shot of him just running looks amazing. Fallout is one of the best action films in the last 10 years. It really is.
I agree. There's plenty of times I'll put it in just to watch that helicopter chase scene.
Yes.
I'll go straight to that and only watch that.
IMAX, like the IMAX shots look amazing in that movie. Like, I think it's Christopher McQuarrie who directed it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he needs to do more. He needs more work when it comes to action movies. I mean, they doing a Face Off remake. Look for Christopher McQuarrie to do it. I think he'll make that. He'll do a good job with making that film, in my opinion.
Let's see. Mr. Dingo says 4K Corner. What's your favorite Dragon Ball Z fight? Tons of good ones. I'm gonna say one that I always go back to. I love it to death. It's what really made me fall in love with it, but it's from Dragon Ball Z. Gohan's awakening when he's fighting Cell. I
Oh yeah,
love that.
where Goku's coming down and giving him the like he's basically like a ghost and giving him the power to
Yep.
that
Yeah. From
I'm
there
not
on with the Cell saga, I go nuts.
I'm not a huge Dragon Ball Z fan, but that was one of the ones I kept watching on repeat. I go on
Yeah,
YouTube and sometimes watch it.
I do too.
And I was watching. It had to be one of Chris Stuckman reviews, and he was talking about Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. There's a scene where Harry's going through the same thing. He's fighting Lord Voldemort, and his parents come back from the grave and help him. So I don't know if J.K. Rowling got that from Dragon Ball Z because it felt like it. Because his dad is like telling him like, you got to get out of this. Like you got to go.
Right.
Kind of like in the same instance of what Goku came back to help Gohan. It's crazy. It's hilarious. But I agree. That's one of my favorites too. Even though I'm not a big Dragon Ball Z fan, but that is an amazing fight.
He says, "Have I watched Attack on Titan? Yes, I have. I haven't seen all the seasons, but yes, I have watched it." Tony Movie Chappie says, Vigo J81, I'm actually one of those few people that actually enjoy Transformers movie as a guilty pleasure, but only the first 4. Yeah, so that's what it is, because he acts like, how do people like Transformer franchise? It's not the whole franchise that people like. It's bits and pieces kind of from each movie that they can usually tolerate. Most people stay away from Last Night and Revenge of the Fallen, but the rest of them, especially 1 and Bumblebee, are just the main ones people are going to say, okay, those were the best out of the bunch.
Now I would only watch, if I'm watching the first 3, I'll watch Revenge of the Fallen. I'll watch it knowing it's terrible. I know exactly why it's bad. I see all the flaws in it. And we know during that time when it was coming out, they were going through a lot of problems with scripts and writer's strike and directors guild strike, all that. They was going through a lot in 2009. 2009 was a terrible year for movies. We had certain movies come out that were good, but when it comes to those big budget ones, they were terrible. Most of those movies were trash. But I mean, like I said, I'll watch Revenge of the Fallen just to watch the Shia LaBeouf trilogy. I call it the Shia LaBeouf trilogy because it's in 3 movies. But I'll only watch it if I'm watching all 3 of those. But I agree. It goes first one. Well, it goes in order of what I like for the 3. It goes Transformers, Movie, then Dark of the Moon. Those are the ones I tolerate for real.
Video J81 says, how did you guys feel about Tenet? Is a sequel needed?
I don't think a sequel is needed for Tenet. I want it to be connected in the same universe as Inception. That's what I want. I don't want a sequel, but I want it to be connected to Inception because it got the same, not saying it's not the same story, but they both have devices that causes things to happen.
Right.
So like Inception, they have a device that make you go, it's the device that makes you go into the dream state to actually feel like it's actually a dream. And Tenet, it's a device that makes you go back in time. That's what it is. So that's what I want. I love.
So basically, just give me a movie where they kind of intertwine and you see the characters kind of come together in a movie, and I can get that. I can see him doing something like that because he loves time bending and manipulating time and stuff like that. So I could see it coming. Will he do it? Probably not.
He doesn't like doing sequels or anything like that.
Right, because he'll use the same actors, but he's not gonna make a part 2.
Yep, and it wouldn't make sense because Michael Caine is in this movie, and he's obviously a different character than he is in Inception. So obviously that's not gonna happen. But that's what I would want. Like I said, Christopher Nolan did his Batman trilogy. That was it. After he did that, he probably didn't want to do no more franchises. I'm good. I'll be a producer, but I'm not about to do none of this extra stuff. No, F that. I'll do my one big movie, and that's it.
All right. So we're 2 hours in. How you doing with time? Keep it going?
We can keep going, man.
Okay. JC said, do you guys like the Men in Black movies?
Yes. I didn't like International all that good, that much. I didn't like that all well. I thought Chris Hemsworth was okay in it, but I didn't like the story. But out of the main trilogy, number 2 is the worst one. It is. The first one is a classic. It's definitely a classic. I don't care what nobody say. The special effects still hold up. They really do, in my opinion. And I love Men in Black. I just got a text message saying my pre-order is ready for Wonder Woman. I guess they just got him in. I'm definitely picking it up when I get off work.
It's really weird though, because when I was pulling it up over the weekend on Best Buy, it was like yesterday. I looked at it last night and it was like, hey, if you order it now, you can pick it up tomorrow, which was
Really?
weird because
Talking
then
about
when I
for
looked
Monday?
again today, it said it said you couldn't pick it up. It was you couldn't pick it up like same day today, but I could pick it up tomorrow. So it
Okay,
was really
yeah.
weird.
No, that's why when I said pre-order, they said it was available for the 30th. It never said that. Unless it was maybe it would just be like that for your store or the store that was near you, I guess. But or it might have been a glitch in the app. You
Yeah,
went
it was
on
probably a
the app.
glitch.
Hmm.
Yep. Because the same thing happened with Cyberpunk when that came out. It said it was
Hmm.
you could come pick it up. Everybody went to go pick it up, and it was like, no, we can't release it.
Right.
Dyke Tennis says thoughts on Mortal Kombat's newest movie.
I'm ready for it. That trailer was amazing. I'm just happy that they're actually making the effort to make it look good. You know, it's not some low budget stuff. That felt like they put money into it. The actors they look like they're really into it. That's the thing. For these movies, I don't need a masterpiece, but I need the actors to feel like they actually believe in what they're doing, and they at least give me a decent story. It don't have to be. I mean, it's more to combat. I mean, what do you expect? So I just want to be entertained when it comes to this newest Mortal Kombat movie.
For me, I think it still kind of looks trash. It does look the best. Yes, it does look like it had a higher budget than the other films. I think the story is still going to be trash.
Generic.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very generic and trash, but it looks like it has a lot more fighting, so I do want to see how the fights pan out. I wish they wouldn't have really shown. I hope what we seen with Scorpion and Sub Zero was just a little piece, and that's a good long fight because I think that's the main one most people want to see.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm upset we saw certain things in the trailer. Like
Yeah.
they shouldn't have showed us him taking out his blood to turn into ice.
Yep.
They shouldn't have showed
Exactly.
it. That's
Yeah.
something
They
I
should have
want to
gave us a
see.
different fatality.
Yeah, that's something I want to see in the movie and be like, oh, like that's what
Mm-hmm.
that's a oh my goodness moment. But they
Yep.
got to set
I
the
agree. Yeah.
marketing.
Are you excited for Halloween Kills? I actually really like the Danny McBride vision for it.
I actually am excited for these next couple Halloween movies. I'm actually one of the ones that actually enjoyed Halloween 2018.
I loved it.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I was very excited. I went to the theater to see it, and I was hyped. I was hyped for it. And I'm upset that I didn't get either of the steelbooks that they released. I didn't get any of the steelbooks. I ended up just getting the slipcover because I didn't have the Halloween 1 in steelbook. So I'm like, I'm not about to buy Halloween 2018 if I don't have the Halloween 1 steelbook. So I'm just getting the slipcover, but I'm very upset I didn't get any of the steelbooks for Halloween. Now they're probably going for a lot of prices on eBay.
You know it. Dyke Tennis said Jamie Foxx did that box office bomb for Robin Hood just for the money.
Yeah, I agree. But most of these actors are being paid a lot of money to be in trash movies. Look at Anthony Hopkins in Last Night. I mean,
Yeah.
he didn't read the script for that. He just saw it was Transformers. These movies made $1 billion, and they're going to pay him a lot of money to be in it.
Yep.
I mean, Morgan Freeman does a lot of cheesy movies, but
yep,
he working. He's old as he is. He's trying to get as much money as he can, bro.
I agree. Tony Movie Chappie, the only great movies that we got and thinking off the top of my head were District 9 and Avatar. That was what, 2009?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. 2009 was a very dark time for movies, but then that next year we got some okay. That's when Inception came out.
Inception, yep.
Yeah. So, but 2009, man, I remember seeing the trailer for Revenge of the Fallen. I was so hyped because, like I said, the marketing for those trailers was like, oh, the Decepticons, they're coming. But I mean, we know what we got.
Yeah, I could never forget that night.
To say no more, man. We know exactly what we got.
Mr. Dingo says thoughts on Fight Club. One of the best endings, in my opinion, would look nice in 4K.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that would be a nice 4K transfer. But I don't think David Fincher has no 4K releases on his resume either. None of his movies have 4K, I don't think. Because Gone Girl doesn't have one.
Nope. No 4K for that.
Nope. The Social Network, no.
Nope.
Fight Club, no. New 7 got a 4K?
Nope.
No, I thought it did. No, it doesn't. You're right. Nope. So, yeah. I don't think that's another director that has no 4K releases. Wow. Because people talk about James Cameron, but James Cameron has one, Terminator 2. So, wow. I never think of
Maybe once the
Tarantino.
Batman comes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Two more says The Promised Neverland is a 12-episode anime on Netflix that is really good. JC says thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Amazing
I liked
Spider-Man
them.
1 is mediocre in my opinion.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is trash. And it's funny, when I first saw it, I think I gave it a positive review because I was so just wanted to see a Spider-Man movie. But now thinking about it, no, and I own them just because I'm a completionist,
Yeah.
but I don't see myself watching those movies again. I really don't see myself watching those at all.
I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched any of the Tobey Maguire I think I recently watched a Tobey Maguire. I bought the Amazing Spider-Man 2 at first because I knew that Electro scene would look really good.
You bought it in 4K?
In 4K, yeah. So that's why I bought that, but I haven't watched it in a while. I think I've watched the newer stuff more than the old stuff, and I think Tobey's been the best Spider-Man.
So you think he's better than Tom Holland? You don't like Tom Holland Spider-Man?
I like Tom Holland. I think he resonates to younger kids a bit more.
Yeah.
And there's a more fun factor to this newest Spider-Man. Especially since it's more involved with school.
Yeah.
So to say. So
it just helps that he actually feels like a kid. He doesn't feel like an adult playing a kid, because obviously Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were like in their 30s playing a high schooler. So
yeah,
it just helps that he actually feels like he's young playing a young guy. But yeah, I erase Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 out of my mind.
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah, it's sad because they trying to build it up, and they didn't give it time to breathe. They just wanted to try to bring out they did kind of the DC thing where they wanted a franchise so bad that they could just let these movies breathe and build up like how the MCU did. They didn't push everything in front of us when they was making these movies. I mean, maybe with Iron Man 2, maybe they did, but I mean, they still allowed these other movies to come out, before they did the Avengers.
Mr. Dingo says they need to reboot X-Men and then stick to the same actors. The one they did were so confusing. Yeah, they
can't do it because then you're gonna confuse the audience. You're saying it's a reboot, but you're bringing back the actors. You can't do that. You have to basically bring back new actors to do this rebooted X-Men. And that was I'm so upset that people are gonna basically keep bringing out X-Men every time Marvel makes a show. Because obviously with WandaVision, that's all we kept hearing was X-Men, 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 X-Men. I'm like, Kevin Feige came on and said he doesn't have X-Men in none of these plans. Like, he has his phase already done. Like, he's not thinking about them until it's the right time to do it. Kevin Feige might change his mind, but I don't think he's going to just show us X-Men in the show. That's a movie thing. That's not a TV show thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of hard to put something out there like that in a episodic TV series to just throw it in there like that. Like, I do feel like you need to give it to a movie like you've done with all the other characters, because that's not just putting one character. We're talking about a whole group. So,
right.
And I think we've been flooded enough with just Wolverine. So if they was to just push him out there, it's like, oh gosh, here we go. Like,
yeah. I think he should be the last one they touch.
Yeah.
Because we so attached to Hugh Jackman. But I think that's what everyone's going to be clawing for, no pun intended. But it's to me, I can't see anybody play him yet because I love
me neither.
That character.
I've heard people say, what's his name? I can't get it off the top of my head right now, but yeah, I can't really see anybody taking that mantle right now because we've had Hugh Jackman for years, and it ended so well for.
Yeah. Logan was definitely the best ending you could do for a comic book character.
Thoughts on Michael B. Jordan as Superman?
It's funny they talked about doing it because there is a comic book storyline with the Black Superman, but to me, it's just too soon for another reboot. Like, They don't give none of these. They just ready to bring them out. They're not letting none of this stuff breathe. Like that's when the saturation for the genre gets, when you just keep rebooting. You know, like
Yeah.
they just released. Did you watch the Superman and Lois TV show?
Yes.
And that's the other thing right there. Is like, now you got the TV show and you got the movies. It's like, how many Superman I'm gonna get? Like,
Yep. And
like
then
you
you
could.
didn't.
It's like
Everyone
Oprah.
wanted a Man of Steel too, but you didn't even
Yeah,
give us that. But now you're ready to just give us something totally
yeah.
different.
It's like we Oprah. You get to be Superman. You get to be Superman. You get to be Superman. Like, damn. Like, what the heck?
Chris Morrow says we need a Magneto movie.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Well, yeah, I would say no, because then I
No.
start thinking about which storyline do they go with Wanda and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
gonna be hard because they have to change the story between Magneto and Professor X, because if you do the same storyline with him being from the Holocaust, that's gonna make him really old. They're not gonna cast these characters as old characters. They're just not gonna do that. They're gonna want young characters to be these people. So they're gonna have to change up their origins. They're gonna have to.
Yeah, I think that's something we should have been got if that was the case.
Right. Right.
All right, but we're 2 hours and 16 minutes in. I think we're gonna close it out. I got one last question for you before we go. Uh, what's your future outlook on YouTube, and what is your ultimate goal?
My future outlook on YouTube, I just want to continue to grow and keep to continue what I'm doing. Basically, obviously improve my channel and stuff like that. Because like obviously, this stuff is expensive to do. If you really put the money into it, it's very expensive. You know, when it comes to wanting to get the best quality audio and stuff like that. That's the one thing I really want to do. Just improve on my content. You know, try to be consistent as well, because being consistent is very hard when you got a life, you work, and you know, if you like, or you got kids, and you know, you got a family to provide for. It's very hard to be consistent on here. And I think this month I've been the most consistent. I've been proud of myself for being as consistent as I've been on YouTube. Um, because and obviously there's a lot of times where things don't come out. Like things don't come out or
Yeah,
Blu-rays don't come out, so there's no content to put out. But um, and for my ultimate goal, I don't see myself doing this as a career. Like I do this as a hobby. I do it I do it to communicate with other people like you. Like that's the reason why I do it, because I don't have that many friends to talk about this stuff with when it comes to physical media and stuff like
right.
that. And so that's why I did it, because I want to communicate with other people that like the stuff that I like when it comes to collecting physical media or talking about 4Ks and Blu-rays and stuff like that. Um, that's the reason why I do it. You know, I don't look at it for a career. I look at it for just a way to communicate with other people that I never met before, you know, in other areas. You know, like I live in Cleveland, Ohio. You know, I done met people that live in Canada and
Hmm.
North Carolina and Jersey and stuff like that. I probably would have never done that if I did this. So that's basically how I'm looking at YouTube right now. You know, I mean, if it blows up, it blows up. You know, but I'm not looking at it to cash out on this. You know,
Right.
my ultimate goal is really, I've been wanting to do since I was a little kid. I want to make movies. That's been my ultimate goal, was to get into filmmaker, get into the film industry. That's been my ultimate goal.
Okay. That is awesome, man. All right. So before we get out of here, go ahead and shout out your channel. Let them know where you can find you and what you've got coming up the rest of this week on your channel, or in the future.
All right, you can follow me on YouTube. You can type in Alex Thomas Blu-rays. That's how you can find my channel. You also could type in Lex Thomas 21. That's how you can find my YouTube channel as well. It's hard when you type in Alex Thomas because there's a lot of other things come up. So I just tell people to type in Alex Thomas Blu-rays. That's how you can find my YouTube channel. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at Marty__McFly21. I try to communicate with people on there as well. Like I said, if you comment on my videos, I try to comment as much as I can, because I love talking to people on the comment section. You can follow me on Twitter at LexThomas21. I do occasionally post on there when it comes to uploads and stuff like that. I don't think I have anything planned for this week. I think I'm gonna take a break. I was thinking about reviewing the Godzilla 4K. I might review that, but I think I'm gonna take a break this week. This whole month, I've been in front of the camera making videos, so I think I'm gonna take a break this week. I might review Godzilla versus Kong. I don't know yet, but so far, I think those are the only two things I got in my mind is reviewing the Godzilla movies, and that's it. I might do a March Blu-ray haul, like showing everything I bought in March
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to physical media, because that's basically what I'm trying to just stay on top of is physical media. So I might do that, but you can be a lookout for that as well.
Awesome. Well, let me touch on. So I seen a comment that I kind of just real quick, 30 seconds. I want to touch on it real quick. Contender said my goal would be getting free movies from the studio. I don't know how serious he is about that, but okay, I can understand getting a few, but that would be cool. But if he means
Yeah,
like getting all my movies, no, that's
no,
not supporting physical media. You're
yeah,
not
yeah,
supporting it
yeah,
at that point. Once all
because
your movies that
yeah.
you're using are free, no.
Yeah, because like I said, I have to me it's about, but when I buy physical media, it's about me going out for the hunt. That's how I enjoy going out buying movies. And also obviously I'm supporting physical content. But when it comes to getting free movies, most people are getting those movies for review purposes because they review the content. Like who do I like? Films at Homes. He is a big physical media guy. He reviews a lot of movies, so I know he gets a lot of studio input when it comes to getting those movies. Who else? Blu-ray Dan. He's another guy that I follow. He gets a lot of review copies. I know because he gets them early. He gets them way early and posts them on Instagram. But I know he's reviewing those movies that he's getting for his YouTube channel. That's what his YouTube channel is about. But some of these people have insight into the studio. That's how they
Mm-hmm.
get their discs. I don't have that contact. You know, I'm a little guy in Cleveland, Ohio. So like I said, most I do, I don't review the content. I just show that I buy them and show my collection of. That's what I do. So it
He
would be
said, "I
nice though.
know." He says, "I know one YouTuber gets all his movies for free, and he goes to stores on Tuesdays and don't buy
Yeah,
nothing."
I know exactly what you're talking about. Wet Movie One. He's that guy. I love
Wow.
Wet Movie One though. I'm subscribed to his channel. He's hilarious. He's hilarious though. I know him. He's not going to buy anything. He gets all his stuff for free. The studio sends him everything, but he goes to the stores to show off the stuff. That's what he does on his YouTube channel. Even though he's talking about hoarding up, buying stuff, no, he's going out to show what the new releases are. But he already got them, so he doesn't need to buy them. Like I said, it would
Well,
be
I can say
nice
at
to
least
get
he
it, but
takes the time to do that, I
yeah, yeah,
guess.
yeah,
But
yeah. But he's
yeah.
going out to show you that they're available at the stores. He might, we don't know. Like he might be buying them, he might not. Like he doesn't show us that. He shows us that they're available at the stores, and you know he shows that he gets review copies. He does show that he get them. So, and he gets a lot of fan mail and stuff like that. That's what I wish I could do. I wish I could get fan mail. You know, I wish people would send me stuff. Like send me stuff. That's what I would like. But
All right, you guys. So there you have it. It was a live Q&A with Alex Thomas. You subscribe to his YouTube channel if you have not subscribed already. Link is in the description down below. Follow him over on Instagram as well at Marty McFly. I want to say thank you for coming up here, spending this 2.5 hours is what we're almost at this point. But
I enjoyed
thank
it.
you for that. Thank you to everybody that's in the chat that, stuck around,
Shout
giving
out to
us some good
everybody in the chat,
questions.
man. Shout out to
You
everybody
know,
in the chat, man.
yeah, I love those guys for being here. It was a special night, Monday night. You guys know we usually go up on Thursday, so get ready for Thursday night. We got a movie collection battle coming up. Mid-Level Media has a great battle coming up against Alex from Levels of Geeks in 3 weeks.
Oh snap! I'm ready to see that one. Oh snap!
And future video I'm looking at doing, it may just be me, I'm not sure, but you guys, anybody that's interested, WrestleMania weekend, I believe I want to do that Friday night. I want to do a live show. I want other people up
Ooh.
here, as I can have up to 10 people. So if anybody wants to come up here, I'm looking at Friday night because WrestleMania this year is 2 nights, Saturday night, Sunday night.
Oh, okay.
I want to do maybe like a top 10 greatest matches throughout wrestling, not just
Ooh.
WWE, but just come with your top 10 or top 5, however we end up doing it based on how many people we got up here. Even if
Oh,
it's
that'd
just
be
me,
dope.
I'll give you my
Oh,
top 10 all
that'd
time.
be
But
dope. It's too
I'd
bad I
love to
work.
do something.
I work Friday, so I missed that one. But that'd be dope. That'd be
Yeah, and I
dope.
know me and Mid-Level Media talked about it, and I know he works weekends as well, but I really want him to come up and do it. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
know,
would love to
maybe if
be a
we got
part
to
of that.
move it to do something on a different date, but I know that Friday night I do want to do something for WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I would love to come on that because I could definitely give you my top 10 matches for sure. I used to love wrestling back. Oh my goodness, it's kind of try. I don't like it now, but
Yeah,
oh man,
not so much.
yeah, late 90s, early 2000s, even like 2008 through like 13 was, oh my god, was so fire, so fire.
Yep. Yep. But that's what I got coming up, you guys. Once again, thanks for being here. Thank you, Alex, for being here. You
Oh,
guys,
no
it's been
problem.
another
I
great
enjoyed
video.
it.
So thanks, you guys. We are gone.